First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for UpNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcast app you're using, and of course,
Twitch.tv/upNXT podcast. Hello, Twitch room.
Even though our light on our camera died right before
everything's going wrong. Everything's gone wrong tonight. Yeah. I'm going to be coughing away during this show. My voice is going. Our ring light. Our sexy cam model ring light has gone out.
Yeah, how are we supposed to be influencers?
I know, everything's going wrong. Johnny Gargano gets put through a table. What's happening, Braden?
Fuck, man.
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
What a night.
Yeah. Welcome at UpNXT Podcast on Twitter. Give us a follow and say hello. Hello, Braden and Davie are here. We're here to talk about some NXT. We talked about War Games on the weekend, Sunday. We did a watch-along. And then a post-show, of course, the podcast is on this very feed, or the video replay is up on our Twitch and our YouTube. So go check those out if you haven't. Go give us a follow, like, and all that stuff on the YouTubes and Twitch as well if you'd like to see what we look like when we usually have the ring light. So we got a backup light. We're okay.
Yeah,
we still look good.
We're okay.
You're dressed like Johnny Gargano.
Of course, got my Johnny jacket, my
literally
Rebel Hart shirt.
You have the same jacket that he wears. You knew he would.
I feel like I've always dressed like Johnny.
You have.
Yeah, it's not like I've been copying him. It's just like
you both
we have the
similar.
same fashion.
Yeah, it's true.
Both great guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Australians?
Oh, well, yeah.
We'll get to that, yeah.
Nothing's changed. My opinion hasn't changed on Australians. Joking. I love you all.
Yeah, we watched some NXT tonight.
Because we are your NXT
friends.
That's
right. We are. Guys, we'll always be your NXT friends, but they're pushing it.
Tonight got me a bit. I really enjoyed War Games. I did have fun with War Games, and I've been pretty positive the last couple of weeks. I think we had something to build to. I think like some of the new prospects have been pretty impressive, like a Bron Breakker in particular. And I did enjoy War Games, but yeah, tonight felt. I noticed the length this week, and I know you've said a few times it should be back to 1 hour,
right?
And I haven't really personally felt that until tonight. Felt like a really long show.
Yeah. Here, I'll save you a whole podcast. War Games was good. Tonight sucked, and NXT is dead to me once again. I'm over it. I'm done. I hate this show. I do. They literally even ruin the little things that I don't hate. They somehow go, should we do this to make it not good? Is what they did on every little thing here tonight. So, yeah. It's supposed to be the farewell of Johnny Gargano.
Well, yeah, so there's been speculation. Obviously, there have been all the contract talks. All the contracts coming up. Kyle O'Reilly and Johnny Gargano. Johnny's ending in 3 days, on the 10th. Signed that extension to take him through War Games and tonight's show. And similar, Kyle O'Reilly's is coming up soon. So what I found odd is us fans know that. We know that. We talk about it on the show every week. People who follow closely and know what's going on. On the TV product, there's been no talk about Kyle or Johnny going.
Right.
It's just Johnny suddenly going, all right, I'm gonna talk about this. If you're watching this product every week, but more casually and don't necessarily go and hit the forums and all that afterwards, I'd be like, what? Sorry, Kyle's gone? What do you mean the last member of there's one more member of UE? All these things Kyle's gone, Kyle's out of here.
Yeah.
Johnny's doing a farewell speech. What, he's going?
Why?
I didn't see a loser leaves town match or anything. They don't acknowledge it at all, yet they expect us to know what's going on. Yet other stuff, they spoon feed you so heavily.
This guy's a poker player.
Just tell us.
This guy's woke.
Yeah, just I don't know.
Yeah.
Have that cage match just be loser leaves town match.
Yeah.
You know, and you know what, Von Wagner, I'll put my career on the line. Cool. All right, we get it. But all we saw is him get attacked by a cage door. Sorry, people get attacked on this show every week. Doesn't write them out. Doesn't send them home. Yeah, weird. And then I think the main buzz was the Johnny Gargano speech tonight. And I think a lot of people speculating maybe if they're giving him this much, perhaps he is staying. But
if they're giving him a speech, if they're giving him Rebel Heart, if they're giving him this whole angle, then perhaps he's not actually going away.
But still not any clearer. But I feel definitely Kyle, bye-bye. And Johnny, see you soon, maybe.
Yeah, we'll run down the whole show, but off the top, those are this did seem to be like the last time we probably will see Kyle O'Reilly. Maybe he made the mistake of telling them his plans. And they were like, you're not going to be in a War Games match. You're going to tag with Vaughn, and then you're going to job to him.
Maybe.
In a cage match.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you saw Wagner cut a promo.
Oh, yeah, on .com?
On .com after War Games, after Kyle cut the promo challenging him. So Vaughn tried to turn on Kyle, but Kyle saw it coming. And he beat him up and then challenged Vaughn to this cage match tonight. But then Vaughn did a .com Twitter exclusive where he donned tonight on NXT Come Tuesday.
Come Tuesday.
Shout out Come Tuesday here on NXT 2.0. And he said the word come quite too many times, to be honest. I know what he was trying to say, but what he said sounded different.
Well, let me tell you something. Come Tuesday.
Yeah. And quickly the internet went and clipped it. And, well, God bless Twitter sometimes. But how you doing before we go into NXT? You all right?
All right. I've got this annoying cough.
Uh-oh.
I took NXT off a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Because I was feeling a little sick.
Yeah.
And then we went to a concert. I got tested and everything. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Stop shouting at me, people.
Right.
But then kind of battled through a concert afterwards, like a day or two after. We went to see Churches. And I think I've just been a bit of an idiot. And this cough hasn't really gone away. In the last couple of days, it's been a bit worse. So I apologize if I'm coughing in your ear during this show, but apart from that, I'm pretty good. Been working, been watching all our festive things for the Patreon this month.
Yeah, you forgot. There's a big important story we have to discuss on the show. I know you're trying to avoid it.
What is this?
You don't want to admit your wrongdoings.
Oh,
we get a knock at the door the other day. I'm in the shower. You're probably, I don't know, cooking or something. We're roommates, obviously. And someone knocks at the door. And I shouldn't talk too loudly or they might hear us.
Yeah.
But it's our neighbor.
Yeah.
From across the hall.
yeah.
And one of the neighbors knocks on her door. And you answer the door. And they're like, hey, I just want to talk about the noise complaints.
No. So she says, I just wanted to check. Have you been hearing my dog? And I was like, so we've seen it. It's little dog.
Little dog. Usually they're the loudest though.
And I'm like, I mean, yeah, sometimes in the afternoon I hear it like yapping a little.
Sometimes if you listen, sometimes you might hear it in a show or two because it can be loud because it hears us talking and then I guess when the owner's not
It's normally
home.
when we do like a show around like 3 p.m. It's like sometime in the afternoon. It's like, oh yeah, I hear it sometimes, but it's fine.
And they're like,
and she goes, well, we've just been getting a few noise complaints. I was like, really? No, your dog? That's shitty.
It's
like,
a wiener dog
I'm
or
like, no,
something?
it doesn't bother me at all. And she was like, well, take my number, and if it's bothering you, like, let us know. And I was like, yeah, sure, and vice versa. I was like, do you ever hear us? Because we're noisy fuckers.
Singing, listening to Rebel Heart.
I was like, we podcast late at night and stuff. So same goes. Like, if let us know. Like, we're cool. Like, if you tell us to shut up, we'll shut up. Sorry, we just figured these walls are pretty thick here.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, sure. Didn't think anything of it. Then I told you.
So you tell me, hey, I was like, who was at the door? And you're like, oh, our neighbor says that they've been getting noise complaints for their little dog. And again, I'm pretty sure it's like a little wiener dog, which not normally are not the loudest.
It is yappy, isn't it?
Of course, yeah.
Like that.
Don't do it. It's gonna start doing it. Stop. So we were like, oh, that's weird, because like even us living across the hall, like it would have to be a few other neighbors on our floor that would like hear this dog annoyingly yapping all the time. And we were like, that's odd. We don't usually hear it that much. It's not enough to warrant a noise complaint. But then it got me thinking that sometimes, ever since we moved here to the BDE 2.0, we go out, have a few pops, have a few Heinekens, get a little silly, come back, and we have our little smoker window in our apartment. And we took the screen out so we can open both windows and then kind of stick our head out and, you know, have a little smoke, cheeky smoke once in a while. But sometimes when we come home at like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 in the morning.
I know. It's normally before.
It's before?
Yeah, I don't normally do it that late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe
More
around like
11, 12.
11 midnight. Yeah. You started this routine where you know, and to get yourself hyped up for the night, just enjoying the vibe.
Yeah.
You stick your head out the window and you bark at the moon.
I howl to the moon.
You howl at the moon.
It's liberating.
It became, I think we do it all the time. We have people come over.
Jesse from the Sixers howl to the moon.
We get our friends to do it.
And they find it wonderful. It is freeing and liberating.
Sometimes you just gotta
we're in a busy city. Like, it's noisy. Like.
But then, taking what we know, what we do, which is not necessarily barking, but a nice little howl, and then mixing with, well, our neighbors now complaining that their dogs are really loud. I think that we are the dogs that are getting the noise complaints called on.
I'm just picturing, like, if it is that, the person complaining seeing this tiny little dog and thinking, I wouldn't complain. I'd be like, that's impressive.
This little wiener dog.
Chris in the Twitch chat is suggesting that maybe there was never a noise complaint and maybe she was just trying to give me her number.
This is true.
Maybe.
This could be.
There are so many different factors here it could be.
Or she's like,
but
hey.
I haven't howled to the moon since.
Yeah, we haven't done it
right now. I've got a cough.
Yeah. So we're scared that maybe the noise complaints were actually directed to us and that the little wiener dog is innocent.
Yeah.
So, damn, what do? Do we come clean?
No, we just save it for special occasions, I think.
Yeah. Can't howl all the time.
No.
Gotta keep it low key.
Keep it special. I mean, Christmas is coming up.
Lots of howling.
I'm on my own for Christmas, so I'll be howling at the moon for sure.
You go in the hallway and do it. And then blame it on that
No, you
dog.
streak down hallways. Come on.
Yeah. Well, damn. I hope we don't get that wiener dog in trouble.
No.
I forget his name. It's like Herschel or something.
Herschel?
I think it's
Holland?
Herschel. It's Herschel. I shouldn't say it too loud. They might hear us talking shit about their dog.
She said she doesn't hear anything from us.
Fuck you!
Wait, come on. We're terrible neighbors.
Yeah,
terrible
no,
people.
we're pretty nice.
Yeah.
I tried to invite them to our little Halloween soiree, but they didn't seem too interested.
Well, now I've got their number.
Whew.
Christmas soiree?
Christmas?
Santa soiree?
Wow. Yeah. You can explain to them that you're the one who howls.
Yeah.
And then they'll realize that
I am the one that knocks. Yeah, who knocks?
Yeah, so I think you have a problem.
Well, that's just a separate thing, but yeah.
So that's what's been going on in the world of us. Been howling at the moon. Been dealing with our neighbors who are sweet. Maybe we'll become best friends with them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
Possibly.
they're our age, pretty much.
Yeah.
They got a dog.
Yeah,
cool.
we got you.
We got me.
Everything works out.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else have you been up to? Anything else?
Well, we played pinball against each other for the first time in a long time the other day.
What did we play? A Metallica pinball machine.
Metallica pinball. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, we kind of became pinball
wizards.
Pinball wizards. Yeah. I'm very good when I'm more drunk, I think. If I'm drunk, I play better. But if I'm like more sober, I feel like
I've just got to learn the easiest way to get multi-ball, and then I just keep aiming for that thing, and that's it. Because once you get multi-ball, you get all the points.
I looked up. Christmas is around the corner. I was like, hey, why don't we get the BDE 2.0 pinball machine in our apartment? But they're very expensive.
And to maintain them, like the one we were playing, one of the arms kept sticking, which made it even harder. So you had to play with the fact that your right arm might not work sometimes. Yeah.
So maybe we could rent one,
rent one
monthly.
Sure.
But pinball machines are very expensive.
Yeah. I'm trying to get them to get one at work again.
Yeah. Well, I really want one in our apartment. So everyone should go to patreon.com/upNXT because Christmas is coming.
Christmas is coming. Yeah.
So maybe you can't afford to get yourself a pinball machine, but you can get yourself the gift that keeps on giving, and that is a North American tier at patreon.com/upNXT because for only $5 this month, every month, you can get access to almost 400 podcasts in our vault, including Retro NXT.
Some people say it is the A championship patron.
It's true.
Right, yeah.
The
North American tier.
Championship tier. Yeah, we could do movie reviews, best match ever, where we talk about all sorts of stuff. All the shows we've promoted for the Patreon are all in the back catalog, including the stuff coming out this month, because we're being so festive. We just put out a review of What's Next last week. Not so festive, but it was an Up Yours pick from a World Champ patron, where we talked about the Warriors.
Yeah, great.
Out to play.
Been getting a lot of love for that review. First
Yeah.
time I saw the film, really good. So thank you, Curtis, for picking that one for us.
Yeah, another World Champ, Jamie, I believe, has picked The Lost Boys.
Yes.
Not quite a festive movie, but one of my favorite movies, so we're allowing it. That's coming out this week.
Vampires, and Santa's a vampire, isn't he?
Santa's a vampire.
I mean, he's not died, has he? He's pretty old.
There's no Santa in the movie.
No,
But
no.
there's gangs of
There's Kiefer
80s,
Sutherland instead.
The two Coreys.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to talk about The Lost Boys. It's one of my favorite. The soundtrack slaps. So that's coming out this week. But we thought we'd start getting festive.
Yes.
We're going to be doing WWF In Your House 5 Seasons Beatings.
Oh, yes. And you can't get much more festive than King Mabel in a casket match and Triple H in a hog pen match.
You really can't.
I mean, tell me something more festive than that, guys.
Nothing.
No.
Bret Hart versus the British Bulldog.
There we go.
Biggest rematch of the century.
Yeah.
Will Bret get his win back and the WWF title on the line? More importantly, will Bret blade and not let anyone know about it?
Maybe.
Because he does.
Maybe.
That's the review coming out this week. And so much more stuff coming out on our Patreon. That's what keeps our Christmas lights on. But it's only $5 a month. You get access to everything. And we need your feedback in soon, because in a week or so, we're going to be recording Home Alone.
Yeah, we're actually banking this show early. We'll be releasing it later in the month, but we're actually recording this weekend with John Pollock from Post Wrestling. We're going to be recording our Home Alone review. So make sure you get your feedback in for that, because I'm pretty sure all of you have seen this film.
Yeah.
And if you haven't, watch it for the first time.
Yeah.
And leave us your thoughts.
Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
Woof.
Yeah, that'll be a fun show as well. But so many podcasts out there.
Jack Frost week next week.
Jack Off week.
Yeah.
Jack Frost.
Jack Frost 97 versus Jack Frost 98.
We couldn't decide which Jack Frost, so we left it to the people, and you couldn't decide either, so we're doing both Jack Frost. One's about a guy who dies and becomes a snowman and just wants to love his kid one last time. And the other's about a guy who dies and becomes a snowman, decides to kill everyone else.
Yes, yes. And finally, the sesh is wrapping up.
Ooh.
Only 2 episodes left of the sesh. I was pretty mad this week that War Games clashed with this episode of Succession, because it got a lot of buzz. I'll be joined by Brandon Thurston from WrestleNomics, new member of the Post Wrestling family, this Friday to talk all about the latest episode of Succession, where Mummy's getting married. Lot to talk about this week. Dick pics and all.
Damn.
Yeah.
Shout out dick pics.
Shout out dick pics.
Well, it is only $5 for North American tier to give us a shot. And hey, what better time? If you're wondering what to get us for Christmas, for the holidays, well, there you go. Get yourself a gift. And it's access to all the podcasts we have out there. So I can't wait for that. And at the end of the month is Best Match Ever, Part 1. We usually compile a list with our patrons and listeners of the top, 25 matches of the year. We let you guys vote it out and duke it out. And then we take the top 10 from that, and we review it and go down the top 10 matches of the year. So we're going to be compiling that list soon. So get your thinking caps on, guys.
Could we have back-to-back Best Match of the Year?
Yeah, last year, as voted by our listeners, the upNXT, Walter Dragunov won.
Yeah.
Was our voted number 1 match of the year last year from NXT UK. Could it be Walter Dragunov 2 from NXT TakeOver 36?
I think so, yeah.
The last TakeOver went out with a bang.
Yes.
And, well, it could go 2 for 2, back to
Yeah.
back.
So get your thinking caps on. What is the best match of 2021?
But that's what we do, guys. Patreon.com/upnext. Again, go check us out if you haven't already. Even if you like us a little bit. Well, hey, it's time of giving. It's a time of loving.
Yeah.
And that's what we do here. Lots of loving, lots of giving.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we can talk about some NXT. I did watch something else that was NXT related. The other day you put on the Stone Cold Steve Austin Broken. What does he call it? Broken Skulls.
Broken Skull Sessions.
Yeah, with Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, a bit weird timing. Us watching that one.
Yeah, didn't it just come out?
It came out a week or so ago. I think.
Okay, yeah, it's a bit odd timing considering.
I think it might have come Survivor Series maybe.
Okay.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, was it just after War Games? Perhaps?
I thought it was just after War Games.
Yeah, but strange timing. Obviously, you might have heard in the news Jeff Hardy on a live event looking not the best, in a rough way, and walking out the match and going through the crowd. And it seems obviously everyone's kind of aware of Jeff Hardy's past and his issues, and we hope he's okay. Because it's pretty awful, and we know he's struggled with these things, and it's sad watching that interview. I know. Did you catch the whole thing?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was. I grew up with the Hardy Boys. I'm obsessed with the Hardy Boys. I got a lot of old Hardy Boys memorabilia. So deep in my heart, wrestling definitely starts with Edge and Christian, Hardy Boys, and all that stuff. So I was interested in watching it, and he comes across as a very smart guy, very just kind of chill in his own world that he enjoys to be. And of course, we all have our vices and stuff. The timing of this is odd because he does say some things in that interview that would make you go, oh man, really? He does say though that alcohol is his biggest vice because look how readily available it is everywhere you go. There's bars, restaurants, liquor stores. Like he says, that's kind of the one true vice for him. I guess he's also kind of open about what happened a few years ago with him ordering pills in the mail, and that's what they got. Right. They came in and busted into his house and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So he kind of talks about that, which is quite interesting because again, as a fan going back, you're like, what the fuck happened, dude? What were you doing? So they talk about Sting match. They talk about a lot of stuff, but I thought it was quite interesting. And I do want to. He talks about one run left in him, and I'm like, honestly, I don't know how they haven't been using you to do that. I mean, he's
been getting really good reactions, and it kind of almost felt like they're building him as an opponent for Roman to kind of knock off on the way to WrestleMania.
Sure.
Obviously now that's up in the air.
Right.
But I did find it interesting watch. I don't think I've been watching Jeff Hardy forever, and I don't think I've ever seen him speak so much.
That much.
Which is
Terry. No.
It's crazy. Yeah. But we hope he's all right. I think I definitely have sensed a bit of a attitude change from people, because I think in the past when we've seen maybe wrestlers, people we look up to, maybe possibly relapse, there's a bit of a fuck you, man, how could you do this? And I think people are way more understanding now that we realize addiction's a disease, right? And just hope Jeff's good.
For sure, 100%. But watching that, it made it seem like he was better than you've seen him in the past and stuff. I've read their book. I've watched so many docs made by WWE and outside companies, and he's never been that open about certain things. So it was interesting to see kind of Stone Cold to get it out of him. But they cover such a long career. We mentioned we're doing seasons beatings. He's actually 15, 16. One of the guys holding King Mabel.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's been in WWE, WWF for so long and stuff. But he does hint at, well, people always ask me, no matter what, I could be in an airport 4 a.m. in the morning and someone will watch me on SmackDown this week and still ask me, when are the Hardy Boys reuniting? And it's for fuck's sake. So he said, it might happen. He said, it might not be here. So Jeff Hardy's all elite.
I mean, realistically, they're brothers. They can do it when they retire, whenever. Can't they?
Yeah.
There'll be one more run, for sure.
We still need that. I mean, we've seen, if you follow any of the indie stuff, the Hardys and the Bucks have fought many a times, but I feel like they could probably do that one more time, eventually.
Yeah.
Because Jeff's still going. I still love Jeff. I was one of those fans who was very upset at him when kind of shit hit the fan when he exited WWE after his he was the guy for a hot minute there. But it was an interesting review or interview from Stone Cold. He's very good at interviewing people.
I used to listen to his podcast before he kind of moved to these network ones, and I think his interview style is so good because everyone who he interviews has a massive amount of respect for him, I feel. And I feel Austin has so many road stories as well that he can use to relate to the wrestlers he's talking to. I like when he kind of pushes them a bit. Think of that Dean Ambrose interview where he's like, come on, man, why aren't you doing better? I like how he's pretty candid that. No, I think he's excellent.
Yeah, I want to see Jeff Hardy WWE champ one more time.
One more time. Well,
shout out Freddie Prinze Jr. That interview came out about Freddie Prinze Jr. saying like he was the reason he was pushing for Jeff to be champion.
Right.
And Triple H was like, nah. And he's like, fuck you, Triple H. Shout out Freddie Prinze Jr. Is he starting his own fed?
Is he? Shall we try and get on that?
With Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Right.
They're married, right?
Let's try and get, if that's getting off the ground, Freddie Prinze
there?
Wrestling,
Freddie Prinze.
FPW. Let's try and be like, I don't know, backstage interviewers, like something there.
I do love Freddie.
Yeah.
Remember that one time he replied to us when we reviewed...
You insulted his hair. Yeah.
I'm like, no, Freddie, you got it all wrong. I love you. I love you. I loved you in Scooby-Doo. I loved you in all the movies you've been in. I loved you as creative writer in WWE. That would be crazy. A lot of people should be starting wrestling feds this year because look at all the talent swimming around.
Yeah, a lot of free talent.
Before the pandemic, the indies were dead. At least up here, like Toronto indie scene was definitely dead because all the top indie stars were poached.
It's been gutted, yeah.
Yeah, and now it seems like everything could be instantly revitalized. So I'd say in another year or two, it'd be interesting to see the landscape of pro wrestling, of where it goes. People will probably look at an AEW and go, huh, I could do something like that. Obviously a lot.
I'm a billionaire. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, where's Elon Musk? Is he going to start up a wrestling company? He should. Why
In
not?
space. He'll have the first space fed, right?
That'd be crazy. Be great.
Chris Statlander would have to jump ship,
yeah.
literally, to be in that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll talk about Chris Statlander possibly tomorrow. Just a quick last plug. On the free feed, we do BD Elite. I hate NXT 2.0 so much that I constantly have to remind you people that we also review AEW Dynamite.
We review a lot of things. Yeah,
we do. We do. So we'll be back tomorrow night with that as well. But let's talk about some NXT 2.0 from Tuesday, December the 7th, 2021. It is the farewell to Johnny Gargano. We will hear from him later tonight. Johnny speaks. But we start off with a cage match, which we've talked about. Kyle O'Reilly versus Von Wagner. And, well, during Von Wagner's entrance, Kyle O'Reilly attacks him. He says, you were probably going to do it to me, so I did it to you. And Kyle starts beating him up, and then they brawl all around the ring and get into the cage. They lock it. The rules are no escape. You have to just win by pinfall or submission in this match. Kyle is just fucking him up here. There's lots of kicks. He's grinding him down. At one point, Kyle's got him and Vaughn in a submission hold and grabs his nose. He's like plugging his nose and like
fish hooking him in the nose. Yeah.
Did you say he's fish hooking it? Precursor there. So Kyle gets to his feet, but Vaughn comes back. He hits a series of like side slams. Vaughn's very good at the like wrestling moves and like almost like Olympic wrestling style slams, I find. Like side moves,
the
angle
big slams and stuff.
Yeah. Vaughn now in control, playing more of a heel character, kind of bullying Kyle, kicking him around, beating him down. But Kyle counters a swing and locks in these like arm holds and starts working the arm and the shoulder, tearing it down. Vaughn comes back with a boot into the corner. They're using the cage where throwing each other into it. They go to break, but when we come back, it's Kyle who runs at Vaughn with this low running knee, almost like a Shining Wizard or The Last Shot, like Adam Cole's move, looked like that.
Yeah, but more to like the side of the head with the knee. Looked great.
Yeah, it looked cool. It could be a finish, but Vaughn kicks out of it. This is when Kyle goes into crazy mode where he's just hitting this series of forearms, sandwiching Vaughn against the cage while he just repeatedly is smashing him. The axe and smash there, continuing with the forearms. There is then a suplex lift, but Vaughn counters that and suplexes Kyle of his own, which looked pretty cool. There's then Kyle with a diving knee for a 2 count when he does it like off the top.
I mean, this is one of his finishes.
Yeah.
We've seen him win war games with this.
So he pins Vaughn, but he kicks out at 2.9, and the crowd here chant, that was 3. Kyle doesn't know what to do, but Vaughn gets up and low blows Kyle, hits the butterfly suplex, and pins him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weak finish.
Shall we talk about the like after bit now and then?
Yeah, sure. After the match, Kyle gets beat up by Vaughn. He wasn't enough for him, so he beats up on Kyle. The cage door is now open. He puts Kyle in a tree of woe, but like near the cage door, and then repeatedly closes the cage door onto him, and then just leaves him there laying as he roars and acts all cool. Come Tuesday.
Yeah, I didn't think the match was bad. Like, Kyle is great. So
he's Kyle.
And I think Kyle actually works really well in cage matches with his style, because it's very mixed martial arts-esque. So I think he works really well in a cage. And I really like that guillotine he kind of locked in when he was in the ropes. It was pretty cool. But the Von, I don't think Von is bad. I think there's definite promise there. I think his look is so generic. His finisher was really generic.
That's a move everyone does in their matches. It doesn't even look like he would get it one count.
Some of his other moves look cooler.
The angle slam.
Yeah. And I get, Kyle's leaving, you go out on your back. You want to leave and you want to put someone over. I worry that this is going to give Von the wrong kind of heat. I feel he's going to get kind of more go-away heat after this. Like, there were chances you still suck during the match and that kind of thing. And sure, he's a heel, but I think kind of the weak finish and just absolutely destroying a fan favorite like Kyle, I can see there being a bit of an uphill battle now with Von.
Well, he's also a heel now, and we have a bunch of heels. We got a lot of new people here who are heels. Braun Breaker is somewhat the heel, right?
He's a bit of a tweener.
He's a bit of a tweener.
Think, yeah.
Tony D'Angelo, Grayson Waller, like all these guys, they're all bad guys. So Von now turning, it makes sense because he's very bland. His gimmick was, hey, I drink beer in the woods.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I'd have liked to have seen a bit more of a different look. Maybe we see that moving forward after this, but you need to ditch those tights and
the yoga pants.
And yeah, I think even the low blow was a little weak to finish it. Like, even pairing him up with someone to like run in. Like, obviously we thought Kyle would lose. This is the way you do it, and it makes sense. Why would you put over the guy who's going out when you're trying to build these people? But I think you're going to start getting kind of X-Pac Corbin heat with this guy now.
Because people are mad you sent Kyle away from us.
Yeah.
You beat him with the cage door. He left. We didn't get no send-off from Kyle, nothing. No standing in the ring after.
No, I have started seeing some pictures, like Johnny Gargano and Kyle, I'll show you now, both had a bit of a curtain call.
Oh, after the fact.
And Shawn Michaels came out with them, embracing them both.
Uncle Shawn Michaels.
So they did have their moment in front of the crowd at the end.
Right.
But yeah, that's the end of Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah, now he can go to All Elite and be with his friends.
Yes.
Literally. I think Von Wagner will go somewhere. I hate the name. I hate his look, but eventually he will figure it out, especially if he's a young guy. Like, the wrestling is definitely there. I didn't love this match, but it was fine. It was cool.
It was probably best match of the show.
It was.
Looking back, actually, yeah.
Show. Yeah, definitely. So Kyle gonna go to All Elite Wrestling, we assume.
Seems that way.
Yeah, I see people like kind of negative, like, oh, like an old gimmick, the old character, Undisputed Era. It's like, nah, it's like there's so much more for him to do there. It's just wrestling.
What I love about AEW is all wrestling is canon.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas WWE is very against that. Occasionally they'll say, oh, it's their friend from Japan and like that kind of thing.
Sure.
But AEW does embrace like canon from the rest of the world. So I think Kyle, it's such an easy fit to go in there. Johnny, I don't think so much.
Not right now.
I do, and I'm sure we'll get into the Johnny discussion later. But it's a very obvious, easy move for Kyle to go there, and I think it absolutely should be done. And opens the door to a lot of like dream combinations and stuff.
Yeah, whether it be him versus Bryan or him in singles matches. I mean, he's been in New Japan. He's been on the Indies. He's wrestled a lot of these guys already. But now where he's like so far he's come, it's totally like different. I want to see him with Red Dragon, Red Dragon, and do all sorts of stuff. I just like good wrestling, so it's not retreading.
Just come in and win the TNT title right away.
No, not even that. Just come in and
beat Sammy.
Just come in and be like, yo, Adam, like, I sent you packing and you're still on this show now being a dick to people. Like, he's going to get cheered. Yeah. Kyle's going to be cheered, so you would imagine that. I think Undisputed Era isn't something they're going to be going towards. I think it's going to be more so Red Dragon.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I see that.
Or even Kyle comes in and goes, yo, Fish, you're being a dick too. What are you doing?
I do think there's in AEW, there does seem to be a thing where Adam is kind of talking down to Bobby a bit. So, yeah, and the beef, like, again, in canon, Cole and Kyle, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, I want my friend back.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Adam.
They act like all the storylines in wrestling actually did happen. They don't pretend like things never did. But the dream matchups there with Kyle are inevitable. And I mean, man, if he's had a crazy run. He killed it on the indies. Of course, he had Red Dragon. Of course, he had a bit of a solos thing. But I really think, the whole run with Undisputed Era was awesome. They were just sitting on money, and they never pulled the trigger to bring it to the main roster. We've been to many takeovers, and the pop Undisputed Era would get. When you walk around cities on your week trip, you see people in Undisputed Era merch. Like, they were so over, and it was on a quote-unquote developmental show, when it was more over than anything on the main roster.
Yeah, and I think, absolutely, their shirts were everywhere. And I think if your problem is their size, I think having them come together to a Raw or a SmackDown, that doesn't matter, because you're a unit, the four of you. It's also very weird, and this was the same case with Adam Cole. Typically, all the kind of farewells we've seen in NXT are because you're graduating.
Right.
We've seen the stand and the bow and the clapping the fans and everything, and it's because they're going to Raw or they're going to SmackDown. It's very weird this time round because it's not that. They're just leaving NXT, and they never really graduated. And it is definitely a what could have been with so many situations here. What if this last year in NXT you just pulled the trigger and had Kyle as the champ, beating Finn Balor instead of all this Karrion Kross shit?
Yeah, they really mucked it up. They did, because the first Kyle versus Finn match was so eye-opening for fans, because it's like, we knew Kyle was amazing. We knew Kyle from the indies. He's had his runs. He's been ROH champion. Like, he's been in singles competition. But for me, and someone who's watched him for many, many years, when I watched the Finn match, I was like, this guy could carry this show for a whole year plus. He could be the champion. He could be everything. And he lost to Finn, and it was such a great story. And then they gave a rematch for free on TV. It didn't hit quite as good. And then it was like it never happened. They moved him back to the bottom of the card, and they brought in Karrion Kross, and look how well that fucking did. Yeah. I mean, then the god Jeff Hardy put him out of business. So. Well,
then Samoa Joe beat him and then just disappeared.
Yeah, it's all backwards.
It was all very odd.
So it's unfortunate, but at least, hey, Shawn Michaels and Triple H gave Bobby, Adam, and Kyle all their secrets. They can go bring them over and share with their friends in All Elite Wrestling. I'm just interested in seeing the wrestling coming from Kyle. I think we don't need to see cool Kyle. I think we need to see Kyle O'Reilly. I want to see him fight Danielson. I want to see him fight Suzuki. I want to see him fight everyone.
When's the Owen coming up? The tournament?
They haven't really talked about it.
Because I know they've said it's not going to be a standard knockout tournament.
It sounds like a G1.
It's possibly going to be more like a G1, that kind of thing. And I think a Kyle O'Reilly would be awesome for that kind of thing.
Kyle had this contract extension, right?
Yeah.
And it's ending this week, so it means his contract is completely over. Does that still mean there's a 30-day no-compete?
No.
Or can he show up at Winter is Coming?
No. His contract ends.
So he can show up.
Yeah.
He can show up in next
week. The 30 days is like over here where we give our 2-week notice to work. It's like, So you're saying there's a chance he shows up at Winter is Coming? Yeah, he could show up. As soon as his contract's over, he can show up the next day.
With Bray Wyatt?
No.
PS5. No, Kyle should. I don't know. If it makes sense, it makes sense. But I think it would get a reaction. It's in, Texas? Winter's Coming? Not very wintry, but it would be something. Or save it. Maybe he wants to chill.
Winter's Coming was in Florida last year as well.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I just want to see the guy thrive. He's been killing it, and he kept getting better. And then ever since this 2.0 lull, no, I'd say since Karrion Kross, they just kept him in this weird position and just held him down. But I want to see the guy do well, because he's awesome. So shout out Kyle O'Reilly if this was his thing, because he's had some bangers here in NXT. There's the Mustache Mountain match, all the War Games Undisputed Era, all the Undisputed Era stuff, tag matches,
all of the tag takeover matches,
all the tag takeovers. He's just killed it. So pour one out for Kyle O'Reilly.
Pour one out.
Cool Kyle. Well, we get updates on Johnny saying tonight he's going to talk and he's ready. We see Braun Breaker. He's backstage. He's ready to talk tonight, and he's hyped. He's jacked after his win at War Games. But we go to a video of Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy says, War Games, the outcome, well, it wasn't important. What's important is our bigger vision. And he's sitting down in a dark room, and behind him is Harland, like kind of in the shadows. He says, we were going to try to end this division, the Cruiserweight title. We were going to break down barriers. We wanted to change exclusivity. You see, Harland here, he faces barriers. People unfairly judge him because of his body, but they don't consider the size of his heart. I accept Harland, and next week, officially, will be his in-ring debut, and it's only a matter of time before we all accept him too. And together, we can change the world. So next week, Parker Boudreaux, Harland, in his first NXT match.
Gacy mentioned as well that his attention is now on a show that promotes division and not allowing big guys. So it seems like he's going to be going to 205. I imagine they're rebranding that division, that show, because 205 has essentially been NXT to NXT.
It's evolved
recently. Yeah, it's been kind of developing people to then put onto NXT. So I think Gacy going there and having his character change that show and rebranding 205 Live to whether it be an Evolve or whatever is a pretty cool idea, actually. And I liked the image of this big scary dude Harland behind Gacy. And Gacy's just promoting love and peace, and Harland puts his big hand on Gacy's shoulder, and his knuckles are tattooed love.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, maybe he is just a big softie.
Yeah. I want this
He's
guy
terrifying
to be
looking.
Yeah, I want this guy to be great.
Yeah.
He's great. Whenever I look at his social media, again, his socials still say Parker, but he also known as Harland on WWE NXT. He's like friends with like a lot of famous people. I don't know what this guy did before, but like all these rappers and hip hop producers that like I follow are always taking photos with him and posting like, you're going to kill it on NXT tonight. And like all this shit. I'm like, sorry, is this guy like, was this guy famous before? Because I only knew him because everyone said he looked like Rock, but he's so fucking scary. I am interested in seeing his debut. I imagine it's a squash. It's one.
Yeah,
move,
I would think so. Yeah,
one big move and that's it. But that's NXT. We go to Braun Breaker. He comes down to the ring. Get the dog chants. Maybe whenever we watch NXT 2.0 and the crowd does the barking, maybe that's where our noise complaints were coming from.
Maybe.
From the NXT crowd. Braun Breaker says, I want to give the most respect to the black and gold brand. They paved the way for people like me. But Ciampa, I fought you for the NXT title and you beat me. Well, this weekend I beat you at War Games. So I see it 1-1, and we need to settle it. We need to do it one more time, and I'll do what I said, and I'll take the NXT championship from you when he's interrupted.
Yeah, this definitely felt Braun was more heelish for War Games, and now he's like, he's going to be a babyface. Yeah. Like, the crowd like this guy as well. Of all the new people they've introduced, the crowd have really taken to him. So, yeah, I like this promo. I thought he sounded good.
Well, out come Diamond Mine. Mm-hmm. Some of them, meaning it's Malcolm Bivens, Ivy Nile, and the Creed Bros. They come down, and, well, Bivens calls Braun LeBron.
Yes.
Breaker. And says, look, you're the real deal. You're Braun Breaker. But we hear what you've been saying, and we don't like it. I kind of was a little confused here. Bivens is interjecting Braun calling out Ciampa and says, hey, it's Team Taz on AEW. Hey, are you talking about me? Did you say my name? You better keep my name out of your mouth, bro. He says Roddy has wiped the floor. Wiped out completely the whole Cruiserweight division. He's got no one to fight. He's beat everyone. So the weight limit has been lifted. And Roddy has his eyes set on you. And Braun is like, that's funny. Where is he? He's not here. Where is Roddy? Why wouldn't he say this to my face? Which is valid. So they say that next week, Braun is going to go up against Roderick Strong. Is it for the Cruiserweight Championship?
Yeah, I'm not sure. And what was even a bit weirder was the segment later with Mello. It feels like I feel like we're getting a unification match down the line.
Title's going bye-bye.
Whether they're unifying this with the North American Championship with Melo, or whether Braun just wins this fucking title and unifies it with the NXT title. I think it's just I don't think it's for the title next week.
No, I think we're gonna see. I mean, we'll get to that later, but I think we're gonna see maybe the North American and Cruiserweight.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Blend together. So maybe this won't be for the title.
I don't think so.
Just a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Roddy and Breaker next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. He kind of just blows them off like, yeah, you guys are nothing. Don't. Roddy's not even here. You're talking for him, and then like leaves, and Bivens was like, huh, jeez, which we'll see more of him later. But the Creed Bros, they stay out there because they have a matchup right now. Are you excited?
Oh yeah, it's our favorites.
Briggs and Jensen.
Oh yeah.
Did I say their name right?
We did, yes.
Wow. Look at these guys. They come out with their... What were they wearing? One of them was wearing a Bad Street USA shirt. The other
one's just in jeans and cowboy boots, and then Briggs is in like a jean vest, a shirt, some jean... Like, they look horrific.
Look, man, I'm no runaway model, but these guys look like shit.
It's wrestling in this as well. Just like, I don't know.
Come on. We literally see more scarier people who look like wrestlers at bars than these two.
And it's the way Briggs walks the ring with like his like hand hooking his like belt and stuff. It looks cosplay.
It is.
Right? I don't buy that these guys. Yeah,
just
don't buy these guys.
Yeah, I just don't buy these guys.
Yeah.
Bless them, but like, bless them, but no, that ain't it. This is not it at all. Briggs and Jensen going up against the Creed Bros. To make things even more confusing, grizzled young veterans join commentary because Wade and Vic can't do it alone without Beth. So they join commentary. But as the match is literally starting, Imperium's music hit, and they're up on the perch just watching this match. Okay. So there's a lot going on.
Which means for the whole like beginning of this match, the crowd are just singing Imperium's theme after it stops. They're just not watching the match and singing along.
Would you care about Briggs and Jensen?
No.
So the match starts. Vic Joseph throwing shade at grizzled young vets. He goes, "What are you guys doing here? Shouldn't you be outside stealing candy from children?" And Wade is like, "Come on, how could you say that to them?" Just fucking rinsing him.
I enjoyed Gibson goes, "You think these divs are the people to lead the tag division into the future?" I love the word div.
Div?
Like, it's so good. And he's referring to Briggs and Jensen because they had the little brawl last week, didn't they?
Right, yeah. Briggs gains some offense. He's beating down on, I think, Julius and does a standing splash. There's then double team punches from Briggs and Jensen where the guy's draped and then they go outside and punch him at the same time. Brutus eventually tags in. He does a series of like overhead throws, very impressive. GYV get up on the apron. They leave the commentary desk and then they go up on the apron and we're not sure what they're doing. And then it's revealed that they stole the ring, the tag rope.
Yeah.
For Briggs and Jensen. So they can't tag in. The one fucking time WWE NXT mentioned that there's a tag rope rule.
They do use it though. To be fair, like NXT, like the tag matches, they do use the tag rope, unlike other companies. But
so Briggs is like,
unique.
What am I gonna do? I can't tag in because I don't have a rope. Meanwhile, Julius locks in this stretch muffler on Jensen, which was very impressive. I will say what's still not impressive is the Creed brothers' attire.
Yeah,
I do not like
bad.
them.
I prefer the black. Like
they're amazing.
Like black and blue.
They're amazing, and they're wearing this again. They look like baby jumpers, like what you would buy for your friend. It's a boy. All right, baby blue, and here you go.
Yeah,
little diamonds on it. The stretch muffler looks good. I thought it was the end, but it was not. There's then some chaos with the rope break, the tag. Eventually, it's Briggs who gets a roll up, and it's over.
No, Jensen. Jensen rolls up.
Right,
so
Jensen
Briggs tried to tag in, but the referee wouldn't let him because he's not holding the rope. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck? There's no rope here."
Yeah.
And rolled up 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of the tag rope thing because we haven't seen it before. But in execution, it didn't work. No. Realistically, the ref would just go, "Oh, there's no rope there. Sure, you're in." Like, cool, whatever. It felt overbooked. I think the Creed brothers, because there was so much going on, didn't look as impressive as they normally do.
Yeah.
I prefer watching them just
wrestle.
Eat up smaller people.
Wrestle. Just have an actual match. And why did they lose to these two?
Because the thing that they've been building is GYV keep on trying to like do these tricks and cheat, and it's always actually costing them. So when they've wrestled, they've tried to cheat and they've been caught and they lose. They're feuding with Briggs and Jensen at the moment, so they tried to get one over on them, but Briggs and Jensen were better than it. And the Creed brothers are the heels here, so it's showing that the popular baby faces of Briggs and Jensen are smarter than all these guys. But yeah, there was too much going on. I didn't really care for this at all.
No, I hated it, man. Creed brothers are one of the good things going in 2.0, and they just managed to throw them aside yet again here. I know there's still time for improvement, and we'll eventually build them up, but like, come on, you just made just sucked. Everything sucked here. GYV, you say they've been feuding with Briggs and Jensen. Soon they're going to be feuding with Nick Khan, I have a feeling, because you're going to job out to Briggs and Jensen soon, and I don't know if they'll have a job. I love grizzled young veterans, but what the fuck? What are they doing with these guys? Just weird. What a terrible way to use these guys. Every week I watch them and I go, I hate you, but I love you guys, but I hate you for what you're doing on the show, including this. I thought this was trash. We go to Von Wagner, who's... I wrote "Come Tuesday" again, but he definitely didn't say it this time. He
said, "War Games is over, Kyle is over, but my War Games has just begun."
Yeah, what does that mean?
So this is kind of what I was saying earlier, where if you don't really pay attention to what's going on,
Kyle is over.
Kyle is over. What do you mean?
You're damn right, he's over.
Kyle's done.
What are you talking about?
And then there's that line later with Roderick Strong's the only one left of UE, and you're like, what?
What are you talking about?
Did Kyle die from that door? Like, what happened?
Cage door killed him, and he was retiring from it.
So I reckon we might just see a few weeks of kind of heel Wagner squashes, maybe, before his next feud.
But it's like we're seeing Harlan doing that. We're seeing Braun do that. Like, we're seeing all these guys do that already. So it's like, all right, cool.
That's what this is developmental, like, that's how you do it.
All right, well, we go from Von Wagner to Xyon Quinn. And he's got a match with Santos later. He says, Santos, tonight I'll put an end to you. I'll shut you up. And Elektra Lopez, I hope you're watching. Because they got a little bit of a...
As he's doing his Dijakovic. Yeah.
Hiya! Hiya! Well, I'm already tapped out, but let's go to the guy who got his head shaved and is now wearing a blonde Ric Flair style wig with like the Kurt Angle Olympic headpiece.
Not yet.
Oh yeah,
he's just wearing the wig.
He comes down to the ring wearing the blonde wig, and he says, "You shouldn't believe everything the internet tells you because everyone's saying I got my head shaved, but that didn't happen. Like, look, I just dyed my hair. I got into
Said a little bit came off the top, but not the whole thing.
Yeah, I dyed it blonde. I look great." And he's saying that, no, it didn't happen. And Grimes is a cheater, but I didn't cut my hair. I just dyed it. Cameron Grimes comes out, and Cameron says, "You cut my hair. You trimmed my beard. You embarrassed me, but I still stood here like a man, because that's because I can't change the way I am. But you, Duke, you can't handle losing." And Duke gets a little mad and says, "No, Grimes, what you did was illegal. You cheated. You pulled my trunks." So Grimes kind of laughs him off and says, "You know what? If that's what you want to say, let's do it one more time. Grimes and Duke, no holds barred." Just so we're clear, the hair is not on the line this time. Next week, you're on, and as Duke is leaving, Grimes goes and tries to pull the hair, but this is when he puts the like Kurt Angle thing over
the wrestling head
gear. Yeah, and he tries to pull it off, but we don't get that reveal quite yet. But yeah,
this tends to work when they did this with Kurt Angle and Edge all those years ago. It did work and it did get pretty entertaining, and I think Grimes is such an excellent babyface right now, and I do think Duke, his facial expressions are actually pretty good. He's playing the fear of being embarrassed pretty well. He genuinely looks like embarrassed and terrified about revealing his shiny bald head.
Right.
I hope it's shiny. Yeah, it's silliness in a whole long show of silly stuff, but I think this one works for me a bit more than the others.
Sure.
And I feel would have fitted into kind of old NXT as a bit of a fun Cameron Grimes hair versus hair story. So I think they're both playing it well.
Yeah, so next week it's just a one-on-one match, no holds barred.
Yeah.
But the graphic is Grimes.
The graphic's amazing.
And then Duke with the hairpiece and the headgear or whatever.
Yeah.
It looks pretty
So does it come off next week, or are we going to play this on a little further?
Like, there's that one Twitter account that just randomly posts the weirdest match cards, like the match graphics, that you would be like, wait, that actually happened? One day they will post this, and people will be like, what the fuck is that? First of all, who the fuck is Duke Hudson? Second of all, what's on his fucking head?
I don't know why he's gone for blonde.
Because it's not his hair. It's funny. Yeah, I get the it is funny, but yeah, good stuff. No holds barred. Grimes better beat him and then take the hair off him, right?
Yeah, I think so.
In the middle of the match, he takes it off him, and then Duke freaks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how they used to do it with Angle. Like, you'd get it off, and he'd try and cover it up, and then you'd be rolled up for the pin.
Yeah, that's right.
I think he's going to wear this thing for a while before we get the big reveal.
I hope the reveal is like it's just patchy. It's like all the stuff that was trimmed, but he didn't do it. Oh, poor guy's got to go through airports.
I hope it's not just like shaved short.
Yeah,
he's got to be bald.
Right. Well, that means they would have to freshly shave it.
Yeah.
Like, as a guy who shaves my own head,
No, that's not how it works. Once you shaved it once, it's done.
It grows back pretty quick.
I know. I watched Kurt Angle have his head shaved, and it was just bald forever.
Forever. It never fucking
He
grew
wore
back.
that thing for weeks, and it didn't grow back.
Kurt looks better without hair.
I used to like him with the hair, but
yeah, damn.
He looks scarier. He looks meaner with the bald head.
Yeah. Me too. We go to...
When am I putting mine on the line again? When did we say that?
In like a year or something at WrestleMania.
Yeah. At WrestleMania.
upNXT Mania. Yeah. I'll put my beard on the line and you put your hair on the line.
Yeah.
That's
the stip.
Yeah, I still think I'm getting the like it's a beard. It'll grow back really quick.
Same with my head.
I don't know if I want to see you bald. That's my gimmick, brother. Well, I clearly did not get enough of Briggs and Jensen.
Oh, God. Yeah,
DJ.
This segment.
They're backstage. They're really happy and excited that they won their match. And that's
Another win in the books.
That's when I actually legit turned to you and said, wait, did they win tonight? And you said, yeah, they won with a roll-up. I went, oh, fuck. And then rechanged my notes. Because I don't care. They are then talking to Jacket Time. Everyone's favorite Jacket Time.
Yep. Ikemen Jiro, he's recovered from his poops the other day.
Thankfully, yeah. I mean, if he hangs out with Briggs and Jensen, he might be eating his meat too rare, and he's going to be going back to that bathroom. But they're celebrating. They say, we can't believe we won, and it's like, yeah. And then the grizzled young vets come in.
Yeah.
And they're like, how did you win this thing? How did you cheated? Or they're just heel stuff. And they're like, no, we're winners. That's what Briggs and Jensen are. We're just a bunch of winners. And then, to make things even better, Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter walk by, kind of skipping, and they go, we got extra tickets to a concert tonight. And Briggs and Jensen go, we'll take those. Woo-hoo!
Right on!
And then they walk out. This is when I said, do we have to do a show tonight?
This scene was... Oh, and then Jacket Time and GYV brawl. And we see sleeping
girl
former Mei Ying behind the
She
counter.
woke up. She was like, yo,
up.
shut the
What's
fuck
going
up. Stop waking me up. I'm
and
trying
drinks
to
a
sleep.
Slurpee, I think. Was that Jiro's Slurpee
from
the other night?
Yeah, his super Slurpee.
This is horrible.
This is practicing your promos, but we're going to film it and air it on TV.
Briggs and Jensen have, like, go-away heat with me. And then I think Jiro is awful. Like, I don't find him funny at all. Yoshida's just there. Remember when he was good? And then Casey and Caden are so irritating.
But don't you know they like going to concerts and raves?
Then fuck off. Why are you a wrestler?
They
Go and be a groupie for some band or something. I don't know.
Their gimmick is they like to go to festivals and raves and stuff. I saw the promo that they aired. They aired it on War Games, but it was the episode I was away for a few weeks ago. And they're at like EDC Orlando or something. So they got the WWE like camera following them, and they're like, "Look, we're there." And you can see everyone around being like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing? We're all like lit out of our minds. Why are you filming? Stop! That's not what you do at these things. It's bad. It's not the etiquette."
I just love the passion of the music and the vibe, the good vibes all around. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
They're very irritating. Yeah, I didn't like anything about this.
I hated this.
Sleepy Girl's all right.
I was Sleepy Girl's the best part of NXT 2.0. I'll say it there. It's done. It's said. Sleepy. She woke up from this nonsense and was like, "Oh, these guys. I'm going back to sleep." Yeah. I hate all of this. I hate Jacket Time. I mean, I love Jacket Time, but like, come on, it's Kushida. Why isn't he like, doing other things? Not this. Briggs and Jensen, don't know who they are. They suck. And KC and Caden are ravers. Like, just everything about this show culminated in one segment here. Oh, and GYV, who I've been hating lately too. Just everything, like, this made me want to pour a stiff drink. This made me want to go out for a smoke. This made me want to just change the channel. What was on a different channel? I haven't finished the Get Back documentary yet. Can I put that on, please? Just anything. I do not want to watch this show anymore. This wasn't even that bad, but it felt like this was the turning point for me, being like, I still hate this show. War Games gave me hope, but this segment alone made me go, no. So that's it. That's our review of NXT tonight.
I've got about another hour left of this
Fucking
shit.
hell.
Yeah, this was a long show.
We get Grayson Waller. He's outside. He's talking to someone outside. Yeah, he's talking to, is it Tesha Price?
Some girl. I don't know.
And he's trying to pull. He's talking to her. He's on his phone like, "Oh yeah, I was in War Games. I helped win the match. What are you doing later?" And she says, "Actually, sorry, I'm already hanging. I have plans with someone else." And then she leaves and walks over, and there is LA Knight, the nice red shiny car. And she gets in the car with him, and he goes, "Oh, it's all about likes and views, huh? Hey, Wally, how you like this view?" And then LA Knight drives off, and Waller is furious. Damn. Likes and swipes.
Good for LA.
Wally World. Good for LA Knight.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So this feud's going to continue too?
I mean, by the end of the show, it's basically Grayson against any vet, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. He's definitely unlikable.
He is, but he's meant to be. And I have quite enjoyed his ring work. So I think it's a very different kind of character that we're not really used to seeing in wrestling. He seems a bit more real than a lot of these. No, he just seems like an asshole.
Right.
You know, like and I feel he's more like a real person than some of these cartoon characters we got. Very unlikable, but I guess he's doing his job well.
It's still very cartoony. Oh, hey, how's it go? Like, they're filming him trying to pick up, and he's like, I don't know if it was still a little too cartoony, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
But I see this guy. I see this guy at fucking King Street, you know?
Yeah.
Grayson Waller's all over King Street. These douchebags. Yeah. Like, I don't see fucking Tony D'Angelo walking around.
Well, we don't live in New Jersey. I don't if we did, we'd see that. So Grayson's pissed. I wonder what he's going to do. It might be something drastic, something he might regret. We go to our next match. Dexter Loomis. Yes, he's back. Sexy Dexy is back to fight. Well, he was supposed to fight Trick Williams, but the one good thing on this show is we don't have to see that match, and it's instead Carmelo Hayes versus Dexter Loomis. The story is Trick's eye is injured, so he can't see, so he can't fight. That's what they said. There is some good wrestling and some grappling from both Dexter and Carmelo back and forth here. Lumis attacks the ribs of Carmelo Hayes because he was just in the War Games and he's got them taped up. So he's like swinging him by the wrap up stuff. He's like beating him up, attacking the ribs. Melo comes back with his patented flying springboard clothesline that always looks nice. Dexter comes back and beats him down, and then he starts taunting Trick. kind of staring at him and scaring him to psych him out, to not get involved because he keeps trying to. But then eats this huge kick from Melo for a near fall. Dexter's laying down, and Trick then gets in his face like, I told you. And he kind of does like a come alive spot where he just turns and stares at Trick, scaring him, making him scream. Dexter hits a clothesline and a Bulldog out the corner. Looked pretty nice for a near fall. Trick again gets involved, and it costs Carmelo the match because it is a DQ. Therefore, Dexter Loomis gets the W over the North American champion. But they run off.
He puts Trick in the silence at the end.
Yeah, so there's technically the win goes to Dexter, but yeah.
Yeah, I found this quite boring, to be honest. I really like Carmelo Hayes, and I think Dexter, actually in the tag matches, I've really enjoyed. It's still the one-on-one matches with Dexter tend not to hit for me. And I think with Johnny going away, I think Dexter's lost something, actually. I think this feud is way more fun when you've got Carmelo and Johnny as like the kind of wrestlers doing the exciting stuff, and then you can have a bit of goofiness with Dexter as kind of the silent, scary muscle scaring off the dipshit Trick Williams. Whereas now we're just getting a Dexter feuding with these guys. We've seen the Dexter feud over and over again. He scares people, the heels are a chicken shit, and they run away. And I didn't find the match too interesting.
No, Carmelo Hayes is fantastic. He's definitely, we'll see a lot of him in the future, especially in WWE, because I think he's very talented. He's a great wrestler, and he's a great talker. So again, why is Trick with him? Because Trick definitely, I think, brings him down. Trick is like overacting. He's not, he has one-liners here and there, but it's like, it doesn't elevate Carmelo Hayes, I don't find. Of course, it's always good to have a lackey, but this guy seems greener than the green I smoke. Like, this guy doesn't fit. He looks the part. He's in great shape. He looks like a wrestler, but he isn't a wrestler. So I don't know. It bugs me when I see him on my TV screen, and not in the good way. Like, not that heel heat. Yeah. Like, go away heat kind of thing. Dexter should go to the main roster.
I think so. I don't know what's left for him.
Nothing. Well, I'll tell you.
It's this feud.
I'll tell you what's left.
This kind of feud over and over again.
No, he's got to get dumped by Indy. She eventually got a turn on him, and they break up and all that. And then he goes to the main roster.
Yeah, okay.
That's what's going to happen. And then he can go do murdery, scary, thumbs up thing. They'll just reenact this whole thing on the main roster.
Yeah, pretty much.
Someone else or something. So, I don't know. Because he's fine. It feels like a main roster act that might.
It does feel main roster, yeah.
Yeah, it could get over, I feel. But, yeah, I think it's run its course now, for sure. We go to MSK. Are you ready? Guys, we're going to find out who the Shaman is. Will it be Bret Hart? Will it be Rob Van Dam? Will it be Matt Riddle? Will it be Izzy's dad? Who will it be? Well, the Shaman is Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah, MSK opened the door, and it's Matt Riddle from RK Bro. Tag champion, right? He's a champion right now. No Randy. I wish Randy was with him, to be honest. That would have made it really funny.
Maybe down the line.
Yeah, I hope so. Matt Riddle opens the door and says, Bro, I've been waiting for you guys to knock on my door for weeks. They say, dude. He says, you guys are stallions. Riddle's a stallion. Lee's a stallion. Nash is a stallion. So let's get down to business. And then they're in this like dark, smoky room, and they got all these candles. It's pretty much their treehouse thing.
It's very like the treehouse, yeah. From
they're like doing yoga and poses and stuff, and he asks them, what's been on your brains, and they say, Shaman, bro, we've done it all. We came in here, we won the Dusty Classic, we won the titles, and now we lost them, and it's like, have we hit our peak? Are we already done? Riddle says, bro, it's a rough journey, but the view from the top is chef's kiss. And MSK doesn't need to change. You've been at the top, and you will continue to climb. And I will be there every step of the way. And they go, whoa, bro, you're not leaving us or anything. He goes, no, I'm never leaving you. But what's in the bag, bro? Sharing is caring. And then they open the fanny pack. And, of course, we can't see what's in it. But Riddle sees it and goes, whoa. as it fades out.
They went, bro.
I mean, we said weeks ago. Well, it's got to be
it makes sense.
Yeah, the only other stoner is Matt Riddle.
So are we getting Riddle with them in the CWC? He said he's not going away.
He says, "I'm not going to leave you guys." But
is this a way to get them cheered?
Is it? I don't know.
Like, because they get booed a lot at the CWC.
Well, that's just Izzy's fault.
It is. No, we know whose fault it is. But is this a way to try and like make them a bit more fan friendly?
Maybe, yeah.
Because they're not going to boo Matt Riddle.
It's unfortunate.
It kind of feels like, when The Rock came out for Roman at the end of the Rumble, to like, they're booing Roman. I don't know.
And then Rock does what the fuck?
Why are they booing me?
I don't know. Like, what Matt Riddle's doing with Randy Orton, I'm not watching every week on Raw, but I saw a picture of him wearing a blazer, and then he was wearing a wig at one point.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're doing, like, I guess, funny stuff that's working, because Matt Riddle works when he's playing off someone like a Pete Dunne or a...
Yeah.
Matt Riddle does bring up the Broserweights in this as well. Like, oh, yeah, I know Stallion Pete. What, you're assuming that Riddle comes down to wrestle with them or be their manager or something?
Just not necessarily wrestle, might have a match, but I'm thinking more just kind of come into the ring with them, being on the outside. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind them
and
as
maybe
a unit.
if there's plans to bring these guys up,
Yeah.
like you could just literally have Matt Riddle bring them up with them.
But he's busy with Randy.
Yeah, but to hang out with them.
I want to see them hang out with Randy.
Yeah, because Randy plays the annoyed older brother really well. So to then have these idiots come up with Matt Riddle as well, it could be pretty entertaining.
I want to see them all smoking. Like, I want to see Randy smoking.
Well, you're not going to see that.
They won't show that,
No.
but they'll show them pretending to be high or stoned. Because Riddle definitely plays the like making his eyes heavy and stuff. Because he's definitely playing it up. But again, it's too on the nose for stoner humor. There's definitely things I would have done better, but whatever. At least it wasn't Santa. I don't know. It could have been worse, but
I had no problem with this.
Yeah. I want to see if it does lead to them teaming with Riddle or having matches with him. I like his wrestling. I would like to see him if he comes back to the show for whatever reason. But I know he's busy with Randall, so continue doing that stuff. But the Shaman is Matt Riddle, bro. We go to the commentary desk because Vic and Wade are like, whoa, what was in that bag? What do you think was in that thing? What do you think was in the fanny pack? Sandwiches, yeah. How I Met Your Mother? Mm-hmm. Anytime they mentioned weed. I was eating this sandwich. It was a really big sandwich. And after the sandwich, I was just feeling really full. That's what they should do. Instead of just being like, oh, weed, oh my God. Mandy Rose interjects Vic Joseph talking about the fanny pack of weed and goes, Vic, shut up and stop drooling. Toxic attraction is here. And they're coming out later, they say. We're going to be out.
I quite like this, actually.
Just shut up, Vic.
This should be a running thing. Vic, shut up.
Shut up, Vic. It should be, shut up.
Shut up.
Vic Joseph. Because that's how he talks every time he talks. I love Vic Joseph, but he does that a lot, and it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano. Every time he talks.
Every time there's a big move and he's talking.
It's how he talks. I'm poking fun, but it's literally what he does. Well, Toxic Attraction are going to be coming out, but they're not out yet. As we come back from break, Indy Hartwell and Persia.
This show is so long.
Yeah. Persia Parada and Indy Hartwell. Persia's like, hey, Indy, did you know Dexter was going to show up at War Games on Sunday? Indy says, no, actually, but it was a great surprise. I got to be with my Dexy. And Persia says, good. Maybe it'll help you out now that you're back with your man because you've not been here. We need to go back to the days like me and you when we tagged back in Australia. You need to focus. That's what got you here. And then I came here. We need to focus to be champions. And you need to leave the love at home. Persia laying it down for Indy. And in comes Dexter, who picks up Indy. They kiss. And Johnny comes in and gives them a hug as well, as Persia's just like, great.
Yeah, she says she's committed to Dexter and to the team.
Damn.
So does Persia turn on Indy before they win the tag championships or after they win the tag championships?
I don't know. Persia is great.
I like
Persia's
Persia,
great.
and I like Indy,
Indy
as well. So I think I'm kind of ready for when this feud happens, but it's whether you see them have a little tag run first.
Well, shouldn't it be them champions first and then finally, like...
I guess.
Again, we need to see... Persia needs to tell Indy to dump Dexter.
Right.
And then that happens, and I guess Indy and Persia can be healed.
I see it more likely if they are either when they're going for the titles or when they're defending it, something happens to Dexter which causes Indy to run off and leave Persia completely on her own.
And she still wins the titles.
No, she'll lose. And that's when she turns on Indy.
Damn. Yeah, I see a lot in Persia. I could see her going for it. She's big.
Yeah.
She's strong. She beats people up. Definitely interested. So yeah, this is the last time we see the Way in some iteration.
I guess so, yeah.
A wave goodbye to the Way. We go back to the ring. Are you ready for this? This woke us up. We hear it's like bossa nova music or some sort of music going on, and it's Valentina, Feroz, and Yulisa Leone, and we've seen these two before, and they're in their like really wild outfits. I swear Valentina's got like a tiger on her shirt or something.
Like a leopard or something.
I don't know, but they're dancing to this music. Like, just wild.
Were they? They both... The dancing wasn't great. They didn't look completely into it.
I loved it.
It looked
Best
like
thing
they
on
were
the show.
told to go out there and, hey, can you dance? We're going to play this music. And they're just,
I love this kind of music, though. I like it like that. Yeah. Well,
I laughed.
we were laughing.
Yeah.
Probably not for the right reasons. They are going up against Toxic Attraction, Gigi Dolan and JC Jane, and of course they're the tag champions. But Mandy Rose, the women's champion here, comes out in a nice mink coat, nice fur coat here. Peta's gonna love it. But they come out. Gigi and JC just beat these two up. There's a series of pump kicks that Gigi always does in the corner. JC hits a running cannonball. I know Valentina comes back here. There's a pretty cool looking, like, rolling Samoan drop kind of thing.
That was Yulisa, I think.
Yulisa,
Yeah, looked pretty good.
Yeah, for a near fall. And then a crazy, like, high-flying cross body off the top to Dolan for a near fall. But it comes to an end where eventually JC hits this, like, kick to the face. And
Big boot sort of thing.
And they get the win. Toxic Attraction win.
I thought Valentina and Yulisa impressed me more than Gigi and JC here. I actually thought they looked pretty good, and I liked Valentina screams a lot.
Yes.
And I'm kind of for it. It was kind of entertaining.
They dance, they scream.
Yeah. I thought the dancing was bad, but I thought when it actually came to the match, they showed that they could be quite impressive, and I think maybe keep them as a team and have them in these enhancement roles, and down the line they could be pretty good. I'm still not sold on JC Jane, really. And then I liked Gigi in War Games. I thought she actually really impressed me. But as a tag team, something's not clicking for me.
It's definitely not like... It's not impressive.
No.
It's nothing that's like blowing us away. I like the fact that they've made this faction. They're the champs, cool. But every time they've wrestled, aside from this past War Games, it's been these kinds of matches.
Yeah.
It's not been anything too...
I think as annoying as I find Casey and Caden, when it actually comes to the matches, I'm usually pretty entertained with how they work as a team. I don't really see much teamwork here. Like, there's no real chemistry between them at all. I don't think.
You just get Gigi
apart
licking
from
the title.
We both wear, like, hot black clothes and we
Yeah.
lick a rose or whatever it is. Like, I don't see any connection with them.
They're hot, David.
That's it.
They're the attraction.
Like, even Kyle and Von try to do some tag moves. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah, they don't even do tag moves.
They don't do any tag moves. Like, they're two women just thrown together, and they're your champs.
Well, they cut a promo after. Mandy has the stick. She says, "We are still the baddest bitches in town. It doesn't matter. War Games, forget about it." She says, "We still have all the gold." Mandy is wearing some very shiny pants.
Very shiny.
I don't know how she got in these pants.
like Ross from Friends with the leather pants,
It's
getting
like-
them on. They're very tight.
Like, you gotta like have someone hold them, and then like, I don't know, like put butter on your leg, and then just
Yeah.
like try to get it. There are tight, shiny pants. It's like if you sit down, it sounds like you're farting. 100%. Just very tight, shiny pants. She says it doesn't matter if you're Cora Jade or Raquel, anyone. Doesn't matter. Bring it on. So Cora Jade, she comes out, and Mandy says, "Who invited you? No one invited you." Mandy, you just called
me
her
out.
name. Yeah, it's the reverse Taz. Why are you coming out here? No one invited you. Yeah, you said my name, so I'm coming out. Cora has her shoulders in a sling from War Games. She says, "Mandy, I beat you 2 weeks ago, and then we won War Games. So you're out here throwing all this shade. Like, why? I want a shot at the title. I've come out here to see if you want to handle this face to face." And Mandy, she kind of gets into the ring. Mandy's like, "Yeah, we can handle this. We can settle this, but there's 3 of us and 1 of you." And then out comes Raquel Gonzalez. Not sure why, but she comes out.
Well, she's seeing Cora's being outnumbered,
Yeah.
and she's a teammate.
So Toxic Attraction.
She's doing what no one did for Johnny later in the show.
Toxic Attraction walk off. They don't want to fight right now, especially in those pants. And Raquel scares them off, and then kind of like gives a sign of respect to Cora Jade. But yeah, coming to her aid here. We'll see a little bit, maybe a bit more why this happened later. But yeah.
So we'll be getting Cora and Mandy down the line. Do you just put the title on Cora and then have Raquel kill her?
Hardcore from
Yeah.
I saw the internet was calling her Hardcore Cora Jade because of her hardcore Swanton bombs.
Love it.
War Games. Just give her the title, 20-year-old
Why not?
champion. No, I think Mandy should beat her.
Yeah.
Yeah. New Year's Evil, or will her shoulder be ready?
I think a shoulder can be good in a couple of weeks. Yeah, New Year's Evil.
Yeah.
No, probably you do this match in 2 weeks, and then you have Raquel, Mandy at New Year's Evil, I imagine.
In the Twitch chat right now, MJ is saying it's like he thought Raquel was Cora Jade's mom. Coming out to save her. You girls playing rough? Are you girls being mean to my girl? What are you doing? She had a chair, right? What are you girls doing? Stop that. Well, we go from that segment to journal entry, Tiffany's Epiphany. Yeah, that's right. Tiffany Stratton. She says that she is a natural-born athlete. My daddy hired a full-time trainer, and I was trained. And it shows clips of her like doing gymnastics and flips and all very impressive stuff, insanely impressive stuff. She says that she even made it to the Olympics with Team USA, but I was too good. I need to be a solo star. And everyone knows the NXT Women's Championship is a lot better than a gold medal. So coming soon, Tiffany. But this time it's showing not the shopping and stuff, but clips of her.
This was way, way better.
Yeah.
It got across her kind of like bitchy personality, whilst also showing what she's capable of, making her legitimate, showing her gymnastic background, and with a focus on the NXT Women's title. I actually like this one, whereas all the other ones were like, I like handbags that my daddy buys me. And I'm like, why are you on a wrestling show? This one made sense for me, and I thought it was pretty good.
Best thing on the show.
Why
Tiffany.
not? Yeah.
We don't even seen her yet, and she's going to save 2.0 here. Tiffany. I had an epiphany. Yeah, I think you can blend those characters together. Like, yeah, I have athletic background. I've been on the Olympics. I have money. And
I don't understand why they ever ignore it. Like, some people, they just don't highlight
Lash Legend.
Their background.
Well, first of all, where is Lash Legend? But second of all, they never even mentioned...
She's basketball, is she?
Yeah.
Like Bianca, obviously, they always used to show her like athletic, track and field achievements and that kind of thing. I think you should do it.
Yeah, this Tiffany looks not only like she can do all these crazy backflips and all sorts, but she looks jacked.
Yeah,
she looks ripped.
Yeah.
So I am a little interested in seeing her come in here. We go from that promo to Tony D'Angelo backstage being interviewed, And he starts off by saying, that Tiffany is one nimble female. Am I right? Jeez, Tony. Tony says, hey, I told you we would win at War Games, and I wasn't wrong. And he says he's got a piece of memorabilia for these stunads, meaning dummies or something, okay. Stupid people, stunned people. And he pulls out Pete Dunne's mouth guard from the match, from Pete Dunne.
It's like it's in like a glass display case.
Piece of memorabilia. He's interrupted by Andre Chase, and he doesn't even want to. He does not want to talk to this guy. So Tony says next week. So what's next week? He's gonna fight Andre Chase.
Just Andre Chase was going on, and then Vic cut him off.
They cut off Andre Chase purposely. I think.
Yeah, it was funny.
They should do this to a lot more people on the show.
Yeah,
because he's like mid spiel about a lesson.
I'll teach you a lesson,
and
blah, blah,
Tony
blah.
walks off, and they just cut to him, and Vic's like, anyways, let's go backstage to Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez. But yeah, kind of a nothing thing here. I mean, Tony's gonna fight Petey Poppins at New Year's Evil, I think.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne, Tony D'Angelo,
and I guess Andre Chase is next week. I imagine. I'm over the Andre Chase character now.
Oh yeah.
Found it funny for a few weeks, but I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over Tony D'Angelo as well, to be honest.
Robert De Niro, Angelo.
I need D'Angelo to prove himself, and maybe if he can have a bit of a banger against Pete Dunne, he might win me over.
Tony D'Angelo, this is a podcast, but I'm doing the Robert De Niro face. Yeah. This is Tony D'Angelo. Love him. He's got the
He's going to beat Pete Dunne, isn't he?
With a crowbar.
Okay.
Again.
Right.
What's another Italian Italian mobster weapon?
Pizza cutter.
He should pull one out to use it and then go, nah. What is it, like a shoe shine box from Goodfellas? What else could you use? A horse's head.
We've got to have the horse's head.
Yeah,
that's been referenced.
He's done the fishes thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that. But, yeah, the crowbar, I guess, continues. Yeah. We go to Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez. They're talking about Mandy Rose, and Raquel says, don't worry, I got Mandy. And Cora's like, well, I pinned her, and I also won the War Games match, so I should be the one to challenge.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So Raquel says, laughs at her, again, like a mom here. Cora, stop it. We can talk about it later. We've had enough for today. And then Kaylee Ray comes in and goes, hey, kid, meaning Cora, you deserve this bat. Just gives her the bat. And she's like, well, what are you going to use? And she's like, don't worry. I got
if I was Cora Jade, I'd be like, can you stop patronizing me? I won the match for us.
Yeah.
With a fucking dislocated shoulder. What did you do? I don't need your bat, Kaylee. Go smash up a car.
Get out of here, Kaylee.
Yeah.
Go back to NXT UK. So where does Kaylee Ray go from here?
Yeah, because I felt they were building Kaylee Ray up for Mandy. And possibly you do, unless you get the title back on Raquel and you get a Raquel-Kaylee feud. I feel Kaylee's going to be in the title picture soon. But we're just doing this Cora Jade thing right now.
Maybe it's like multi-person
four-way?
match? Yeah, I don't know.
You could.
I don't know. Kaylee Ray can easily go back to being a heel.
Yeah.
I just like smashing things is her gimmick right now.
Yeah.
The Rage Room gimmick.
Yeah.
Was that one real low down on the list? And she's like, poker player, daddy's girl. I mean, I could be a Rage Room.
Kaylee Rage.
Kaylee Rage?
Right, yeah.
Wow, I just got that. Kaylee Rage. They should just make Kaylee Streets of Rage. We go to our next match. Is this show over yet? Xyon Quinn versus Santos Escobar. So Legado del Fantasma come out with Elektra Lopez, and Xyon Quinn comes out by himself, but he told Elektra Lopez he's got something going on with her, watch my match. Right away, Xyon starts choking Santos, gets down on him, just starts beating him up and choking him. And then Santos eventually gets to his feet and runs at Xyon, but he just stops him in mid-move, and Santos just drops to the mat. There's a head putt, and then a huge clothesline for a near fall. Escobar eventually comes back. There's a huge enziguri in the corner. Xyon, though, hits a Samoan drop for a near fall. There's then a spot where Santos and Xyon are both standing at the top turnbuckle, but Xyon's on top of the top turnbuckle, and Santos is on top of the top rope, and they're both standing. and Santos hits a huge top rope standing avalanche Frankensteiner Hurricane Rana on Quinn. Looked amazing.
I thought it was terrible.
You thought the Hurricane
They
Rana
were
was...
stood there forever.
Well,
it was
they were standing there forever,
It was
yeah.
so supportive and like, are we going to do this? Are we going to do this? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
The
Are we
spot
gonna do
itself looked good.
fine, but like it was...
I think
Sorry,
Zion's
I'll
green.
watch acrobatics, you know? Like, I didn't like it at all.
I think Xyon Quinn is still very green.
It's NXT 2.0. Yeah, that's what
yeah.
the show is.
Well, he lays out. I thought the actual Hurricane Rana spot looked good, but I thought for a second it looked like he was going to do a move because he's standing there
They
for
were
so
just
long.
up there for so long.
Yeah, the move itself eventually hit great because Santos hits a cool one. It has Zion Quinn laid out, and it's Elektra Lopez who goes over to him and grabs Zion's hand and puts a brass knucks on his hand. And as he gets to his feet, he realizes he has these. The ref sees it somehow and is like, "Hey, get rid of those." So
Wild pointed it out to the ref.
like, look, he's got these knucks. So he turns around and gives it to the ref and is welcomed by the Phantom Driver. 1, 2, 3. I am shook that Santos picked up the win here, but he did. And then afterwards, they're all celebrating, and Santos purposely raises Elektra's hand, like, "Yeah, we showed you, we tricked you, buddy."
I kind of... the match didn't do much for me. It felt a bit flat. But I did think the finish was quite unique. I like how they're teasing... did Elektra Lopez give it to cause a distraction and have Santos win, or did she give it to help Zion win? I thought that was...
Zion win.
I thought that was pretty clever, actually. I quite liked the finish. And even the look Elektra was giving to Santos at the end, you're like, did she mean to do that? But the match itself, was a little flat for me. I was kind of burnt out by this point. This show felt way longer than usual for me.
This is how I feel every week watching this show. This show needs to be 1 hour. We go to the parking lot. We know it's a dangerous place, but not lately. Lately, it's been... That's how you know 2.0 is fucking soft. The parking lot is soft, too. We see Diamond Mine, and they're discussing the weight limit and 205 Live, possibly, when they're welcomed by Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. And Trick says it's all about checks and championships. And, well, sure, Roddy's... This is when the line comes from Carmelo, who says, Roddy is the last man standing from that group.
Yeah.
Like, what a throwaway comment. If you don't know, like, what?
What happened to Kyle?
What do you mean?
Just
What
saw
about
Kyle this earlier.
He's here. What are you talking about? He's fine. He just got beat up. What are you talking about? He says that Roddy's not a true champion. I'm the A champion, and you know they're alluding that Roddy and Mello will have a match, and to see whose champion is the better champion, and the title's the better title. So foreshadowing, possibly putting the titles together.
I'm all for that. It's a bit weird seeing that we've set up a Braun match earlier in the night. I think I'm interested in both matches. Braun versus Roddy sounds like it could be pretty good. Roddy versus Mello should be really good.
New Year's Evil, Carmelo versus Roddy, maybe a ladder
Unification.
match or something, because that's what they do whenever they're unifying things. So
Yeah, but just odd to set both up in the same week.
it was.
But I'm for it, though. It sounds like a good match.
It ends with Mello and Trick leaving, and Bivens just kind of angry and kind of out loud says, "Why is everyone here so disrespectful?" As it cuts away. He's not wrong. We get a shot of Johnny Gargano backstage with Candice LeRae and their dog, Padme. He gives Padme a little hug, a little 1-2 kiss, and says, I'll be back, as he's getting ready for his final promo here tonight. When we come back from break, we see Boa. It's a vignette for him. He's calling out Idris Enafe. He says, "You don't understand. Once I become one with this power that Mei Ying has given me, it will be impending doom." So next week, Boa versus Idris. That'll put butts in seats. Is that how that goes?
Yeah.
Yep. We go to the shot of the CWC, and the whole crowd is chanting Johnny Wrestling as the theme hits. This rebel heart. Johnny Gargano comes out. He's wearing his Daniel Bryan t-shirt with his maroon jacket.
Yeah.
Just like the one you have. And he's already crying. He's already teary-eyed. He comes into the ring. The crowd is chanting everything. Johnny Wrestling, all that. Fuck yeah, Johnny Wrestling. He says, we're running a little late tonight. Good thing Chucky is already over. So we're being followed up by London is falling, so they can wait. Mentioning the movie that's coming on USA Network right now. He talks about being a Nikita guy instead. He says, I'm sorry. And some guy in the crowd chants, I love you, Johnny. He says, I love you too. And then the crowd chant, please don't go. He says, I wanted to give you wrestling I was proud of, and you have no idea. In 2015, I had my first ever WWE tryout, and I was told I would never be in NXT. I haven't been blessed with genetic gifts, you can say, but because of one man, William Regal, I was booked in a match against Apollo Crews. And all you guys at Full Sail, you chanted my name. And, well, then they brought me back again and again, week after week, until I've had main events, I've had video games, I've had everything. You all helped me live my dream. I'm still that 8-year-old chubby wrestling fan. And some guy in the crowd says, I'm chubby too. And he goes, yeah, and laughs. He says, I've dealt with self-confidence issue my whole life. I've doubted myself. I'm doubting myself even right now. I truly love this place. I believe in it so much. And I'm back in Ohio. I know my mom is watching. Hi, Mom. My dad, well, he's probably sleeping. Hi, Dad. But I have family here. And he starts listing all the people he's got family here in NXT. He mentions Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Matt Bloom. The list goes on and on. To the promo package people.
Yeah, it talks about the people that produced all the way vignettes. And
Terry Taylor,
everyone, yeah.
Sarah Amato, Vic Joseph. He says he's close friends. He talks about, I think Dustin's the video package guy. Sean Hayes. He just lists all these people. He says, this is my family and that will never change. And I know change is scary, but sometimes it needs to happen. So I have one message. You will never fail if you bet on yourself. I don't know my immediate future, but I may do some things here and there. But in February, the most important job of my life will come, and that is being a dad. And then the crowd chants, baby wrestling.
Aww.
Definitely a weird chant out of context.
Baby wrestling, yeah.
Baby wrestling! He says, I'm going to love that little guy so much. And he says, I will worry about Candace. And then as he's going on here, the camera stays real tight on him, and the crowd... The
like going, he's behind you,
Johnny.
It is Panto season.
Yeah. He is attacked from behind by Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller attacks Johnny with a steel chair, beats him up, goes ringside, puts the chair around Johnny's neck, throws him right into the steel steps in the post. And if that wasn't enough, he then powerbombs Johnny through the announce table right in front of Vic. Wow, great friend he is. Laying Johnny out and says, you want views? This is my house now. Get out of here. As the crowd chants, piece of shit.
Yeah.
That was a good chant. That's one of my
Piece of shit.
Piece of shit. Grayson Waller definitely eats
sloppy steaks at
sloppy
Trofani's.
steaks, definitely. As it goes off the air, goodbye, Johnny Gargano. Finn.
Promo was great, obviously. It's Johnny, and he's always good at these heartfelt promos. I assume he's taken a break for a few months. I don't think we're going to see him pop up anywhere for the time being. I do see him coming back to WWE down the line. Mm-hmm. Possibly the end of... I think this should be the end of NXT for him, though.
Well, I mean, Grayson took him out, though, so...
I can see people being mad by the Grayson Waller thing, but you do want to kind of try and give these guys something and make them a bigger deal. I think Grayson Waller's kind of story does make sense, that he's been trying to get noticed, and even the fact that he was shunned earlier by the woman makes him be like, all right, well, I need to get the attention here. So I think it made sense, the attack at the end. They needed to explain where Ciampa was. They should have had just a bit, when you're doing the highlights of War Games, have something like, and Ciampa's recovering from a slight injury he had at War Games or something like that. Because you've explained why, like, his teammates aren't there, like LA Knight. I think you should have explained why Ciampa, the guy he's had all this history with in NXT. And to bring up the fact that Vic is like his best friend, and then Vic is just stood there.
Like, calling it.
Yeah, like, it makes you look like a coward. I'm sorry, but, like, if someone was attacking you, even if I don't think I've got any fight in it, I'm going to try and do something to help you out, right?
Thank you.
I mean it.
Yeah.
So, fuck you, Vic.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. Okay, so Johnny Gargano cuts a fantastic promo.
Yeah.
And...
seemed genuine and heartfelt.
It did.
Everything.
It doesn't necessarily answer any questions because, he says, I might do something here and there. So he mentions he's going to be a dad and he's focused on that. But the fact that they wrote him off like this, gave him this promo time, it does lean towards that they're in good books. They're in good. They're still.
Whereas Kyle is throwaway lines. This is
This
is him addressing. You're not going to see me for a bit.
Yeah. So you're definitely not seeing Johnny till like the new year, past that. But it potentially could mean he's in SmackDown or Raw. I don't know. Maybe he does go to AEW, but maybe it's the best choice right now because there's no room for him right now in the other place or in the other place.
He can. I'm sure his body wants a bit of to
break.
recover a little bit. He's going to be a dad. He could take 6 months if he wanted.
Hell yeah.
You know, he could work, like, if he's not under contract, which as of in 3 days' time, he's not, unless he's re-signing right away.
Yeah.
Could do the odd indie date here and there. Do a couple of dream things, PWG, that kind of thing, if he wanted. And then come back down the line, either to an AEW, which doesn't feel quite as swamped with all these new names. I just worry, like, Johnny's my favorite, but I look at that AEW roster right now and go, where do you fit in right now?
Yeah,
like
obviously
you
there's dream matches.
Won't be at the top of the card right away. You'll have some cool matches, and
he hasn't been to the top here for a while though. I mean, he ended here in the main spot,
and then but there's that lack of faith in what they do with him on the main roster. Now, I'd look at him, and I'm sure Triple H would look at him and go, "Oh, we don't have Daniel Bryan anymore. Johnny Gargano, slot.
Right.
That role. But there's a bad track record, and unfortunately Daniel Bryan's don't always happen in WWE. But what's going to get him to stay? Like, if I was him, I'd need assurances. You've seen everything going on. You go, right, I'm going to be a dad. You really want me to stay? You can't fucking cut me. You're giving me a 3-year contract? That's what it is. I can't walk out of it. You can't walk out on it. Unless we both mutually agree to that, you know?
Yeah.
And what will you do with me? What are your plans? Why do you want me to stay?
Manage Keith Lee.
Yeah, like, what are your plans? Tell me. Give me 6 months of what you want to do with me, ideally. I think those are the kind of assurances people in his position need now.
Well,
having seen the last 6 months,
he's been the glue of this show. Like, he is Mr. NXT. He is Johnny Takeover. No pun intended there with using that name, because he's been the main draw for this company. He's held it together when it's been, even before 2.0, when it's kind of been in the mud here and there. He was the one guy who would still put on the one banging match on the show, who would still hold it together, whether it be tag matches, whether it be the stuff with the Way that's been going on for almost over a year now. Before that, like, his run has, he was essentially enhancement talent that proved he was more than enhancement talent. Like,
well, as he said in here, he was wrestling week after week with no contract.
He was no contract, jobbing to everyone, and then eventually became a champion. Mind you, it wasn't for a while, but he has main evented. He has stolen the show repeatedly. So it's like, how do you fuck this guy up? But they still would probably manage to do that. So taking time away does make sense, but yeah, it doesn't really. It's fine, the fact that, okay, this guy's leaving, so we might as well get the heat on someone. I just hate that it's Grayson Waller. I do not like Grayson Waller. If it should have been Big Vaughn, I kicked Kyle to the curb. I'm sending you out of here too. Grayson Waller, I'm not a fan of. It's X-Pac heat. I already mentioned earlier. It's like, yeah, you're the guy who does likes and swipes. Cool, you can do a tope. A lot of people do. I don't like you. I get what they were trying to do, so I'm not being butthurt because the guy took out Johnny.
Yeah.
It needed to happen because that's what happens in wrestling. It's just like, where was Ciampa? Because after this camera stopped rolling, Ciampa came out.
Right.
There's a great video and a great shot on Twitter where they're both sitting side by side in the ring.
Doing their old pose.
Doing the pose, and Kyle's on the outside, like clapping and
Right.
firing up. They had their moment, but they maybe should have just ended with that. But I guess they want to give someone the rub. Unfortunately, it was Grayson Waller, so I hate Australians now.
I disagree. I think Waller he feels
Your favorite.
No, I don't like him, but I don't like him for the right reasons. I think he seems like, as I mentioned earlier, he seems like those douchebags who would be outside Belfast Love that we can't get into. You know? Right. Like, he feels like more of a real dickhead rather than any of these characters. And his character makes more sense to me in the modern world where that's how it is. It is people obsessed with how they are, and they don't really care about doing the work. They just care about getting the likes and shit. And even his kind of story arc over the last few weeks, being with this feud with LA Knight, which has then turned him into a bit more bitter about these veterans and thinking, no, it's not your time, fuck off. Getting shunned by the woman earlier in the night is gonna knock his like cred. Yeah. And he's like, fuck you, Johnny, I'm gonna go after you and make a name for yourself. I've enjoyed I don't like his look. I don't really like the whole boxer look. It looks very odd to me.
So now he wears Hawaiian shirts.
But no, I mean when he's wrestling, he's wearing the boxer thing. But yeah, he hasn't. I've enjoyed his matches. I enjoyed his match with Ciampa. I think he is more than a tope.
Yeah, I'm not mad that someone takes out Johnny after his quote unquote farewell. Like, that's kind of we were talking when we were watching the show tonight. Okay, who's beating him up? Is it Ciampa? They're gonna have one more match live on TV right now. Screw the movie. Just air another half hour where they fight one more time. But it had to be this guy. I think it just brings me down to the point where it's NXT 2.0. They just literally ruin everything I like. I don't like Grayson Waller. I don't really see it with him. I think you could have used this for someone else. You could have used this for a new character, someone who's been in.
Then you'd be yelling, "Who the fuck is this guy?
Exactly.
Why are they bringing in more people?"
I still don't know who Grayson Waller is. Every time I see him, I'm like, "Who is this again?" Oh fuck, it's that guy. Until he speaks and I hear his Australian accent, I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's that guy." It's like he doesn't stand. What's the thing when Vince sees Johnny Gargano and says, "You wouldn't stand out at an airport"? Grayson Waller does not stand out at an airport. I hated this episode of NXT. Best part of it was Johnny's speech. It seemed sincere. It didn't seem like fake sports entertainment until the bit end. So in the end, you got heat on Grayson Waller. I guess it did its job, and it was very effective. But the story here is, hey, where's Johnny going? We still don't know. So
we still don't know.
He says, hey, I'm taking time off. So we got to respect that, guys. Let him have his time off.
Yeah, I liked, I somewhat liked the cage match, and I liked Johnny's promo. It didn't really hit for me
Davie.
this week.
Say it.
No, because I'm not a fucking broken record.
NXT is dead. Johnny has left us. That means it's dead. It's dead in the water. Who do we have left? Ciampa? That's it? And he's losing the title in 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
So, definitely one of my least favorite episodes. I was on a high, if you could even call it that, after War Games, but this episode was definitely putting me to sleep. I love Johnny Gargano, and he's had quite a run here in NXT, so definitely pour many out. Shout out to Gargano Pizzeria. I'm sure he'll be hanging around there soon. And I'm wishing him the best with his family and stuff. But big fan of that guy and all the stuff he's done the past, 5 years? 2006. 6 years?
Yeah.
Like 5 meaning like the real good chunk of stuff. That
and Roddy. Roddy's still there.
Roddy's still there.
He just signed he's signed. He's there for a while.
Yeah. He was like the extra guy. Like he joined Undisputed Era afterwards. Like he's good. Trust me.
He's been there since 2015.
He's been there for a long time, but he's not been in a Gargano spot. He's not been in that kind of spot. So I love Roderick Strong. Don't get me wrong, but he hasn't done much for us lately. Like his even that. I think after that match with Kushida, he was a write-off for me. But yeah, he's just chilling. He's gonna lose that title soon, and where's he gonna end up? Right? Yeah. All our favorites are disappearing, and it's like, this is a developmental. It should be like that. It should be moving and rotating every 6 to 12 months. It should swap out people. It's just Gargano was on this like crazy run of like match of the year after match of the year after match of the year.
Yeah.
Like we're talking all-time classics. Like, you go to bet that Gargano-Almas is one of, if not your favorite match ever. And, like, I see a lot of people agree with that. Same with that DIY tag match. Same with Adam Cole Gargano, 2 out of 3, both of their matches, like all of their matches. So it is a big loss to this show because, like I said, watching this show every week, doing a podcast on this show every week, even before 2.0, there were so many times where we're like, ooh, this episode was dead in the water, but it had Gargano versus Roddy or Gargano versus insert this person, and it usually like made us go, well, that was pretty good because this guy gets it. This guy gets this whole pro wrestling thing. And part of me does have interest in seeing him. This is going to sound shocking. Part of me wants to see him be a huge star in WWE, but because Vince McMahon does not like short people, he's Randy Newman, that Vince McMahon.
He'd make me watch main roster.
Yeah,
like I tune into his segments to see what they're doing, where I can't say I've said the same about a lot of the people that have moved up.
Agreed.
But
of course, we want to look. I want to see him go to the Indies and do PWG and wrestle on AEW and stuff like that. Right now, it might not be.
I just want this company to be better. You've got the talent. You've got all the talent there. I shouldn't be hoping that you leave to go to another company because realistically, it's only AEW. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not watching AEW. I'm not waiting 6 months to get a DVD of PWG. Like, I'm not doing these things. I don't have time. I'll tune into an odd match here and there.
Sure,
but I like following weekly stuff, and that's AEW and WWE for me, and this company needs to be better. You've got the fucking talent there.
And Grayson Waller. I think this show is every week it makes me more sad and mad at the same time as a fan of this, and talking to a lot of people, a lot of our listeners who write in and tweet us and all that stuff have been like, more so than ever, have been like, oh, love listening to you because I swapped it out. I started Succession. I started this. I started watching anything fucking else than this show because it just doesn't hit what it was doing by miles. And I totally see that, and I totally agree. I could not stand this show tonight. I was just waiting for this Johnny Gargano. I was like, fuck, this show is so long. It feels so long. It needs to go back to 1 hour. Put it back on the network. Make it what it was before because it ain't it. It ain't it. But someone out there must love it. Someone out there must be like, oh, this is what it should be.
Well, Dominic loves it. He says, great episode tonight. I like the way all the new feuds were set up. Braun versus Roddy will be great. Malcolm Bivens is my new favorite on the mic. Glad he is on NXT because he would disappear on Mondays and Fridays. Great way to build 2 new heels by taking out Johnny and Kyle. Oh, Johnny, you took us on a ride, but is he gone or just gone till the baby is born?
So till February. So Dominic liked it. Shout out Dominic. Dominic Mysterio. No.
Maybe.
We go to Andrew McDonald from Cape Breton. I find when I watch WWE, I end up comparing them to AEW, and tonight's show is a good example of some of the main differences. AEW, almost to a fault, is a babyface company. A lot of the time in undercard matches, the babyfaces will always go over, and they will go out on their way to send the crowd home happy. One negative of this is stables like Team Taz and the Hardy family office end up getting jobbed out, whereas the main focus is on the very top heels like Elite, MJF, and Danielson. They are also known for the hometown hero winning in their hometown up until recently, where it was a storyline with Danielson. I feel like this is done to build up audience trust and to build towns for the future. With WWE, they want to keep their happy moments as infrequent as possible. I think it would have been for the best to let Johnny go into the sunset with his head held high, simply for the fans in attendance and the hardcore NXT viewers. It just seems like another example of, think of the heat. I just felt like Grayson Waller attack was more groan-inducing and doesn't stand out in a world where getting the heat and there never being a payoff is the norm. Speaking of heat not being there, with Tiffany Stratton, people focus on the daddy-daughter fetish of the NXT creative, but something that's never brought up is the talk of her daddy puts Tiffany in the position of being an underling? Not sure what that means. He says the real star is Daddy, not her. Daddy literally did everything, and she would be nothing without Daddy. I'm reminded of Jim Cornette when he started out as a manager and his mommy got him everything. The problem is Cornette was a Weasley manager, and she's supposed to be your next big star, when in reality, she's not a star at all. Daddy is.
I do kind of agree with what Andrew was saying there about the Grayson Waller attack, where it doesn't... You're getting the heat, but there's no payoff. Like, if Johnny is gone, if Johnny is moving to the main roster or whatever, there's no payoff. It's just you get boos, you realize this guy's a bit of a dick. Like, I got why they did it, but it would have been nice to just have that Sean Kyle Gargano hug on TV. You know, that would have been nicer way, but he's
kind of right.
This company doesn't do it.
This week, the trending thing from Raw I keep seeing is the angry girl in the crowd. She's so mad at the segment or whatever segment it was. Right. It's like, yeah, there's more times in WWE they piss you off than make you feel good.
Yeah.
When's the last time WWE did something that made you feel good? Kofi Kingston winning the title?
Yeah, probably.
Releasing Daniel Bryan? That made me feel good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I get what he's saying there. Go to Dylan, who says, remember just before Samoa Joe's return when NXT was chaos, with each segment flowing into the next and different segments of the roster interacting in unique ways? NXT felt like that tonight, and I loved it. Wagner versus Kyle O'Reilly was good and did exactly what it needed to do. Breakker vs. Strong is an interesting match, but not sure who can afford a loss here, but I'm excited. Roddy can afford the loss there, I'm telling you. Also, Bivens said Roddy has permanently lifted the weight limit on the title, meaning it has to be unified with the North American or NXT title soon. I found myself surprised the ref called the Creed brothers out on the tag rope for not being held until I realized it set up the finish. Oh, I missed that. So the ref actually called the Creed brothers out on it first.
They were like,
so then that's why they had to call out Briggs. Makes sense. Furious at the Creed brothers' loss, especially to Briggs Jensen, but the finish was unique. That being said, an NCAA All-American wrestler losing by roll-up feels like a damn plot hole. Hayes versus Lumis did not need a DQ finish, but the match was fine. Riddle was the Shaman is money. If he pulls double duty weekly, I'll be quite pleased. Him pointing to the sky as if Pete was dead had me cracking up. Those three together are going to be fantastic. Toxic Attraction gave a lot more offense to the salsa dancer and off-brand Ty Conti than expected. Escobar beating Quinn with some tomfoolery was a good choice, in my opinion. Feud isn't over yet, and I'm enjoying it. That closing segment was damn near perfection, though. Johnny gave us every reason to believe this was a heartfelt goodbye. Since he was closing the show, I thought he was going to say he was headed to the main roster, but nope. Serious Mark Henry retirement vibes. If Henry hadn't done it years ago, there's not a shot in hell I would have expected it tonight. Waller's going to get nuclear heat now. The subtle setup with Waller and Knight earlier on the show was perfect too.
You might be right there, Dylan, saying that Waller is going to get nuclear heat because obviously the feud is going to be Ciampa's going to want to fight him again and get revenge for beating up Johnny. But if you watched, there was heat, but then a lot of the people were like yawning and being like, going to their friends. Sorry, who's that? Who's that guy? Oh, it's Grace. Oh, yeah, that guy. Right. So I don't know. Even you said to me, you were like, ooh, that's not a lot of heat there.
Yeah, like because you can see the cloud so clearly because of all these lights, a lot of people are just sat watching.
Who's attacking him? Is that nah, it's fine. I'll sit down. We go to Sean McTeer, who writes in, NXT 2.0 put a pretty decent show tonight. The opening cage match was decent, but given everything he's done in NXT, it didn't feel like a worthy send-off for Kyle. Vaughn handled himself well in the match, and I was almost on board with the switch to a possible top heel. Then he spoke. Woof. Shout out come Tuesday. He says, I am 1% on board for Braun versus Roddy and Diamond Mind as he works his way back to Ciampa. Next week's match should be great. Riddle as the Shaman was good and made sense. He is a multi-time tag champ after all. And the tease of Riddle doing double duty is interesting, but will it be enough to keep people from booing MSK? Their narrative for the tag and women's divisions tonight are that there are a lot of possible contenders, which makes sense for the tag picture with the Dusty Classic maybe on the horizon. But I hope they find a more interesting way to narrow the women's field other four-way. Match of the night goes to Santos and Xyon. Santos did his usual great job, but I also thought Quinn stepped up. I am really into this feud. There's plenty of intrigue. He continues. A big negative for me is the continuation of Grimes and Hudson. I really hoped this whole thing would go away with Duke's hair. Unfortunately, we're getting a no-holds-barred match. Pass. Also pass on any more Tony D and Andre Chase. Closing segment was awesome. The way LA and Grayson subtly set up earlier in the night was excellent, and Johnny crushed his farewell, leading to the big moment. The only caveat is Grayson Waller. The guy for that spot, time will tell. Waller has skills and can talk. He's public enemy number one now. Hopefully he's ready. As an elephant in the room, Johnny's future is unclear. I won't speculate, but is this really his swan song? It felt weird that Ciampa wasn't there. A lot of interesting stuff tonight. Hopefully NXT can build going forward. Whew, that was a lot.
We've got a lot this week.
That was a novel.
Glenn says Joe Gacy's versus 205 Live will make the show relevant for the first time ever. These screaming jobbers are way more impressive than JC and Gigi. Yeah, Thought so too. I slept through the entire rest of the show, so I look forward to listening to this one.
We go to Megan, who writes in, all I needed to see was Johnny's farewell. It was endearing, heartfelt, and real. Grayson Waller ruining that was just deplorable. That said, if he needs to step away, it's more than earned it, as he's going to be a dad in 2 months. The competition down the block is already full as it is. Once again, I'm eternally grateful for Johnny Wrestling.
Well, there you have it.
Thank
you guys.
Yeah, we see people have also posted the video. So, like, again, after I mentioned, Ciampa and Kyle came down. Looked like, Shawn Michaels was there as well, hugging out with Johnny and Kyle, and Ciampa was there and just celebrating. And, yeah, that's it for Johnny Gargano.
Well, thank you for your feedback, guys. We put it up on the UpNXT Facebook group every week. So if you've not joined that already, go ahead and do so.
Yeah, go join us on the Facebook group there. Oh, there's one from the post-wrestling feedback
that just
thread.
Came in.
Yeah, let's go to MJ from NJ, who says, hate to say it, but both heels looked good taking out Kyle and Johnny. They had WWE bigger guy appeal compared to the genetically inferior guys leaving. Pour one out. Seeing Kyle next week should be great. Is that possible? Winter is coming. Johnny, I suspect, becomes Johnny Indy, Johnny Dad, and who knows? Maybe AEW and opens the forbidden door and wrestles Ciampa at Endgame. I'm continuing to enjoy NXT 2.0. It's back to a blank canvas. Throw stuff against the wall and see what splatters and works. It's really closer to its origins now, and as someone who thought the USA Network run of Black and Gold was too overproduced and hyped, I enjoy this type of offering as easy to watch with simple characters. Vignettes, I just wish it was 1 hour and not live. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think this show needs to maybe squeeze back to being an hour. There's just a lot of the same garbage. We watch this on TV live on Tuesday nights, and we play a game, me and you, because we watch it together. Is this a commercial, or is this the show back on?
Oh, yeah.
Because so many overproduced and shitty TV commercials match the same vibe, NXT 2.0. They play the instrumental music bed, someone's talking, there's a terrible one-liner that doesn't go over well. That's NXT 2.0. And then there's Grayson Waller. Guys, thank you so much. Again, at UpNXT Podcast on Twitter for all the updates of all the shows we do. We do so many podcasts. We'll be back tomorrow night live on Twitch as we record BD Elite, talking all about some Dynamite. We will be doing the same thing next week for Winter is Coming. So all that AEW chat for that show tomorrow. And listen to Shot in the Dark, again, on this very free feed in 15 minutes or less. John Siino will fill you in on everything else you don't watch, like Impact. Is Ring of Honor still a thing?
Soon to be not.
Yeah,
but
but he's watching all that stuff and will fill you in 15 minutes or less.
Dark Elevation,
everything.
205 Live, NXT UK, all of that.
He also has a t-shirt. If you want to
does.
support John Siino, go to prowrestlingtees.com/upnext and look for that Shot in the Dark tee, as well as all of our other shirts and hoodies and all that stuff. But go check that out as well. Thank you so much for listening and supporting. You can tell NXT 2.0 has defeated me. It has beat me, guys. It's done it. I'm beaten. I'm bruised. I need 2 months off, just like Johnny.
We need to end this show because this negativity is putting me to sleep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, let's go.
Yeah. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And long live Johnny Wrestling.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking these things as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.